Right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Sunday Seshy, the talky-talk, the chit-chat, the smoky smoke. That's what it is. This is the undeniable, energetic, authentic community of highly motivated. With your host tonight, me, the Oregonji. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's been such a great, relaxing weekend. And I've had to learn how to relax. I've had to learn how to just kick back. Sometimes that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to stop expecting of yourself, is to stop pushing yourself and take your time off and enjoy it. So that's what I tried to do this weekend. It was difficult. It was difficult. I still caught myself running around and doing things. I still caught myself trying to create meaning and whatever in my time off. So just to even enjoy my own time off, I I had to create meaning. I had to create substance. I had to create something. And that to me took away from the time off. It took away from the enjoyment. It took away from the relaxation. And instead, I don't know, I guess it felt like I was working, but I wasn't. I wasn't. I was doing really good. Why do I have so many waters? Okay. So, anyways, we're going to relax into the show tonight. We're not going to have too many expectations because in this show, there are no expectations. There's no planned show. There's hit go and let's see what happens. That's what tonight is. So, this evening, hopefully, we have Garrett joining us. Garrett, hopefully, should be popping in anytime now. I'm like, anytime now. We had a show, I want to say it was last show, Friday. Was it Friday? The last show we did was Friday. And the last show, we were going to have Garrett come on the show and chit chat a little bit about the future, planning for the future. I think this is important. I think it's imperative that we at least plan for the possibilities of things. I don't believe in looking to the future or planning for the future, but thinking of those possibilities is very important. Anyways, we might have Garrett on this evening. If we don't, we don't. Mm, delicious, delicious. I've given up soda. I've given up soda, and I've replaced my soda drinking with, let me see. Oh, why is it not working? What's going on? What is going on? No! What happened? What is this? Okay. What is going on? This is some on top of bullshit. Holy free holy. Are we back? Okay, great. Would you like many viewers? Let me see. Let's go back into the chat. What is this? Why is it so weird? Okay. All right, we'll just go from there. Okay, so we're here. We're hanging out. Not sure if we are broadcasting on all channels, but we should be broadcasting this evening on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. We are broadcasting also on the Instagram and the YouTube. On Instagram, you can find me as 0420X, and on the YouTube, I believe as Oregonji. And you can find me as Oregonji on most everything else. So before we get, I guess, too ahead of ourselves, I am just going to check and see if we're on LinkedIn. It's a Sunday Seshy, very exciting things. Let me just pop in here. Yes, that's me. Superb. I just want to go take me there. Excellent. Excellent, I say. Okay, we're live. At least I think we're live. We look frozen. No, it's working. Okay, it's working. Superb. Let's close that. Excellent. Let's open up some notes. So tonight, some of the interesting conversations or micro topics we may want to talk about. I did want to continue our conversation into Schedule 3, which is recently the new classification that cannabis has been put into. But it's boring. I mean, there's good, there's bad, there's a lot of confusion. A lot of people in the industry really feel as though this is the beginning of the pharmaceutical companies coming in and taking over cannabis. We're taking over commercial cannabis. But where things are a little bit different and where I feel that commercial cannabis can be different is craft cannabis. So that's more of your small end bougie growers doing things organically, hand trimming, living soil. These are very important things. Malts, Andy, welcome to Highly Motivated. Good to have you on the show this evening. So we got the malts over here on the Insta Cha-Cha. Again, we do have the Insta Cha-Cha working this evening. You feel better now. Would you go take a shit? What is this? I feel better now. I feel better now. Oh, he did. Look, I see a little poop emoji. I think the only time Andy watches the show is when he's pooping or when he's on a cruise in like international waters. It's like he feels he watches the show. It's like he's not getting in trouble if he watches me on international waters. Hey, we've got the Horde of Culture, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Horde of Culture. THC. Too highly motivated. Let me see. Happy last night of Hanukkah, bro. I know. Tonight is the last night of Hanukkah. Happy last night of Hanukkah, Andy. It feels like it's been a really just relaxing Hanukkah. I mean, a lot of gifts, I got a lot of gifts this year. I got gifts from all the complaining that I do throughout the year. That's when Angie bought me gifts. I complain my ass hurts. She got me a seat cushion, like a donut, a seat donut. I complain I can't breathe. She got me one of these. Look, I'm like, I still feel like I'm breathing so good. So what did she do? She gave me Boost Oxygen. Wait, what else did I get? I got some neuropathy massaging ankle thingies. The other day, she goes, how do they feel? I'm like, mildly annoying. Only mildly. Every gift she got me was kind of designated around my complaining. But it also made me kind of feel old this year. I was waiting. She was going to give me maybe like one of those canes, like those walkers with like tennis balls on it. I was expecting one of those. What's up, everybody? Sorry, I've been away. It kind of dropped off the grid there for a few weeks, but I'm back. They're back. Cowboy is back. Welcome back, Cowboy. It's good to have you here. You guys been busy. Look, this is the holidays. THC is a band. They're badass. And let me tell you, they're absolutely badass. So they're kicking ass out there in the Ocala-ish area is where they're performing. The Horde of Culture, THC. We've got Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. We got Jeff, too. Highly motivated. It's a pleasure to have you here. Hey, I'm from Smoke Nation, from Marion, South Carolina. Remember me? I remember you. 100%. Welcome to the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Y'all see tonight? Look at the energy. I didn't have this. Before starting the show, I didn't have this type of energy. I'm telling you, I think I blame the show a little bit. I blame the show a little bit for bringing on the good vibes. I always have good energy. I always have good vibes, but it's the show that kind of kickstarted me back, like gave me a second wind for the evening or a second run of energy. I feel good. I've got some really lovely smoky tokies over here. We're going to be pulling up. Look, I've got a Emerald Apricot. One of my favorites. It's got a little Durban poison in it. You know Durban poison is so good because of THCV, the extended hydrocarbon. Exciting stuff. But Jeff, it's a pleasure to have you on tonight's show. And it's a pleasure to have all of you on tonight's show. Highly motivated. The International Smoky Toki. And it is what it is. It'll be what it will be. By the way, if you see me looking over here, that's the Insta Cha-Cha. So Instagram has its own camera and everybody else is in this reality. So it's two different realities coming at you. Let me see. Malts. Wait. Why does your ass hurt? Why does my ass hurt? Oh, you're funny. Listen, my ass hurts because I drive a lot. I'm sitting in the car a lot. And this new car that I got, the little Velociraptor, the Daihatsu, no, the Hyundai Velociraptor, Velocitor. It's a tiny car. It's fast. Oh, it's quick. It's a little turbo. It's like zip, zip, zip. But it's a little uncomfortable for the long journey. And I drive so much. I'm in the car for like hours on end. You need something comfortable on your tuchus. If you don't have something comfortable on the tuchus, it's problems. It's problems, I'm telling you. But Angie got me a lovely seat donut for Hanukkah. For Hanukkah, I got a seat donut. I got Boost Oxygen. All the gifts I got. Look, I got like neuropathy socks. Wait, where are they? I had them like right here. I got neuropathy socks. I got slippers. The slippers are great. Listen, no bullshit. Those slippers are fantastic. But everything this year has kind of made me feel my age. Like I need the Boost Oxygen or comfy slippers just to manage the day, just to manage all that comes at you. Okay. Let me see. Maltz over here. Have you looked into that new Trump news I told you about? Are you talking about Schedule 3? Andy, if you're talking about Schedule 3, we've been talking about it. He passed it. What new Trump news? What are you talking about? Wait a second. Wait. This is much more important now. And I think there's like a 4-second delay or longer. I don't know. I don't know how long the delay is for the Instagram. Yes. Oh, the Schedule 3. Okay. So we've been kind of chit-chatting about it on the last few shows. And we've been talking about Schedule 3. Schedule 3 is the new classification that Trumpy, the Trumpmeister, has given cannabis. So cannabis originally was a Schedule 1 drug, meaning it had no medical value, meaning it had high addictive possibilities, meaning that it was in the same category as heroin and cocaine. Holy shit. That's a really terrible place to have cannabis. So, to open up medical research via the government or government-funded medical research, and to open up tax credits for MSOs, multi-state operators, regular state operators, cannabis companies, the 280E tax break. So in order for them to get that, and in order for us to advance government-sponsored research and to accept cannabis as having credibility and a low possibility for addictiveness, right? Um, so here's the thing. Trump signed it into law, which he doesn't have the total capability, but he did it. And he's rescheduled cannabis as Schedule 3. Now, Schedule 3 means it's in the same category as over-the-counter pain medication. But now it gives it credibility. So when I said there's bad involved in it, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll do a quick chitty chatty right now. There is bad. Where is the bad? So first, companies are getting a tax break. Great. Not only, and they're going to be getting a tax break where they can now write off people like me. I'm advertising. I am education. I am so many different things. And a lot of times companies cannot write off my services. And then they don't, so I'm going to be a lot busier, but I do education. And I also pump up the personnel in stores. I educate everybody. I bring them together. That's my roundabout job, is bringing people together. And when it comes to this industry, I do it with joy. I do it with so much love. But anyways, companies now get to write off travel expenses, hotel, airfare, marketing, the cell phones everybody's using, and the gas, and they get a 280E tax break, which is going to save them millions a year, millions, which hopefully means these big companies put the money back into their company, back to the employees, back into research for the product. They probably won't, but let's hope they do. Now, so now cannabis gets medical credibility. Now Now cannabis is looked at as a medical alternative via the government. And it's no longer addictive via the government. It is now a real deal. They look at it as the real deal. So there are protections. Okay, let's take a step back. We've stated all the good things. Cannabis now has credibility. Now big companies get a giant tax break, which should hopefully help customers and employees and the product. We'll see. And then cannabis getting that credibility, we're going to have more research. But I think last year there were over 28 papers, research papers published about cannabis and different cannabinoids. So there's already research going into it. This is going to be government funded research. Interesting. Who's funding that research directly is probably pharmaceutical companies. So here's where the pharmaceutical companies come into play. We are now going to be regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Fuck. Nobody thought about that shit, did they? So it may not happen immediately. In the short run, there's great benefits. In the long run, the government is probably going to regulate cannabis through the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, getting rid of things like flour and just looking at extracts, looking at solutions and topicals. And I don't know. But in order to comply with the FDA, this will be a medication, an over-the-counter type of thing like aspirin and Tylenol or Advil. So cannabis being in that same realm, in that same box, because it's now Schedule 3. By the way, there's banking now opened up and things like that. Interstate transport, even though it's still an illegal product federally. Descheduling would have been better. So in the rescheduling, okay, now we've come into an era where if FDA regulation comes into play, it will require clean rooms. It'll require laboratories, and that's a lot of money. And it costs a lot of money to get these things approved. It takes a long time to get these things done. All right, that was my spiel. That was us quickly talking about it because I feel like Schedule 3, it's important to know about, but it's boring. I mean, it's important, but it's boring, but it's important. Stealth, welcome to the show. Everybody welcome Stealth 2. Highly motivated. All right, you know something? I'm a little too sober for this shit. Actually, I'm not. I was making a cannabis kimchi, and if anybody watches the show, they'll realize the last time I was testing my cannabis kimchi, that shit got me so high. So this time I chopped up the bud really small, like really tiny, and I put it so that it kind of blended into the kimchi nicely. Wow. Wow. That kicked my ass. That's like super kicked my ass. Today, I even had I had a pot pickle. I had a pot pickle. So I did that cannabis extraction, the cannabis juice. I extracted the cannabis juice, but it was very salty because I had used salt in that extraction, which I'm going to do it differently next time. So when I had all this juice left, I'm like, what am I going to do with the juice? I'm making pickles. I'm going to make some pickles. I had a whole pickle or a cucumber, a cannabis cucumbered pickled. It's not pickled because you're not using vinegars. You're just using salts and waters. It's beautiful. Wow. Wow. The pickles were delicious. Delicious. And very cannabis friendly. So cannabis friendly that after I ate it, I went shopping and I was just like blown mentally. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't care. Okay. So I haven't smoked anything since then. Nick! Everybody welcome Nick too. Motivated. Nick, happy holidays. Stealth, happy holidays. Jeff, happy holidays. Cowboy, happy holidays. How you doing? Happy. And Maltz, Andy, happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Everybody, happy holidays. Absolutely. I'm excited. Look, the energy leading up to tonight's show, and it was crazy right before the show started. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, I just don't have any energy. I mean, the pickle and the kimchi slowed me down. It's like an indica. Like my whole body was just like, I just want to play video games. But the second I hit go on tonight's show, it's go. Great energy. And we learned, I think, from Hojo Mojo, even though we haven't seen Hojo on the show in quite some time. By the way, also let's send out good vibes to Frank the Tank and Rachel. Also, Eric, Andy's here. That is fantastic. But sending out good vibes to all of you. That's what we need. Anyways, Hojo let us know that the shirt I'm wearing tonight says Happy New Year. It's Happy New Year. So I'm getting us ready for the Happy New Year. What do we have? We have like it's right around the corner, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it like it's like right around the corner? I want to say it's right around the corner. We only have days. Look, I'm just looking to see what day. Why won't it show me days? Oh, it's the 21st. Okay, so we still got like a week. Christmas is coming in a couple days. Then New Year's is like right after that. Then Boxing Day, I think. I don't even know how that shit works, I'll be honest. All right, let me see. Maltz, but as you stated, this is both good and bad. Schedule 3 is good and it's bad. Now, if a lot of that federal regulation comes in, shit, every strain will have to be approved. So you can imagine there won't be every strain over there. And it's going to be just these basic 3 or 4 that work, that are easy to grow, that are commercially available. So no, it's not good. Schedule 3 has got a lot of negativity to it. I'm trying to be positive because this is also much further than we've ever come before. The other day, I was reading an article and somebody was like, listen, we should just deschedule. We need to go through a process. We need to go through a process. And we need to get the country comfortable with rescheduling, descheduling, legalization, whatever direction eventually cannabis gets to go. It takes time. This last step is only taken what, like 30 something years? No, what am I talking about? 50 something years. 1970s. So 1936 is basically when they made cannabis illegal. In the 70s is when they scheduled it a Schedule 1 along cocaine, heroin. I don't know if every time I say cocaine, I've got to say it like cocaine. Got to add that little extra oomph to it. But yes, where we are now, it requires a little bit of finessing. And I really think a lot of these laws are going to be left up to the individual states because the government has nobody to enforce this shit. The government has already defunded itself in so many places. Who's going to be enforcing? Nobody. Nobody. Like the 2018 Farm Bill loophole, and you know how they just closed that? They closed it to reschedule cannabis. Again, they're trying to control from 2 different, but what are they controlling? So I feel as though they're going to be leaving it up to the individual states, like the ones that have gone rec, or the ones that have gone medical, or the ones that are doing both. So there's a lot to talk about on both ends of the aisle. And I know, and look, and as people are learning about what has happened, the initial reaction a lot of people get, exotic alchemy, welcome, highly motivated. I think the first impression a lot of people get is, oh, it's legal. It's not legalized. It's just been rescheduled to open up banking, tax breaks, research, and really that's it. But it's going to open up a lot more things. It's going to open up regulations because currently cannabis is not FDA regulated. That's right, everybody. I like that exotic alchemy over here. Let's get motivated. Let's get excited. 100%. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you, tonight's show, that's exactly how I feel. Starting tonight's show, it's pure energy. Pure, unadulterated energy. Excited. Like, look, we're coming into an exciting week. A lot's going on. We are coming into a powerful week, both in the stars, both energetically, both vibe. Mm. But definitely excited. I'm glad to see some of our South Carolina brethren here. Welcome, South Carolina. Welcome to the show. And of course, I didn't even mention. It's so good to see Nick here. He's always fighting the alligators. He's like Crocodile Dundee over there. He's probably not. He's probably like just he hasn't fucked with the alligators in a while, and he's like, listen, they're there, they're multiplying. I don't go outside anymore. I lost both the dogs. No, that'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Mm. In case you've never realized this, anybody, this show is unscripted. There's no script. There's no set agenda of sorts. Now, tonight, a fun thing, and I'm gonna open it with a little spoken word because I like to bring poetry into the smoke session. I like ow, I can't even get through. Holy shit, I got too much crap down here. This room, I've been reorganizing. I think I'm doing a great job in here, but now there's more shit. It's like more shit in different places that I'm finding things all the time. All the time. Ooh, I didn't know I had this. Ooh, look at this. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. So I like to bring a little poetry. But this poetry, this spoken word, was written by Lucid. Lucid is the AI. Lucid is the AI that's helping behind the scenes sometimes. What's that? My video is fuzzy. Let me see. Yes, the Trump strategy is a states' rights preference. Totally that. Okay. Let me see. Broad legalization where you can grow and smoke as much as you want. It was kept illegal so the underworld could profit from this. The underworld, the under corporations, the under, whoever's over there, over, under, over, whoever's doing it, they're profiting. My rate, but the video is like 15% fuzzy or something. Seems merely internet related. It could be internet related. In this house, this room gets I was gonna do this outside tonight. Beautiful evening. I was gonna sit on the new porch. I have a new porch. I mean, some of it's made with old wood. And so does that make it a new porch? It does. Because it's new in structure. So I was going to do a little podcast tonight from the new porch, but it's cold out there. I don't know what the fuck happened. It was hot today, beautiful weather. All of a sudden, I just went outside. I'm like, what is this? It's too cold. I came running back inside because I knew this room would be hot. This room is always hot. Ooh, Angie also got me a scarf because I complain. She's very sweet. She's very sweet, and the gifts she's gotten me this year, very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Okay, here we go. Let me know if the video keeps going bad. I don't know. We could be. Nope, I don't think we're running another unit. All right, here we go. So tonight's spoken word is Back into the Body by Lucid, read by Oreganji. Cannabis was never meant to knock you out of reality. It was never meant to erase you, to mute you, to make you disappear from your own life. That story came later. That story was taught. That story was sold to you. Cannabis was meant to bring you back into your body, back into your breath, back into the quiet intelligence that lives below thoughts, below noise, below the constant explaining of who you are. Before the ads, before the fear, before the labels, before someone told you your body was a problem to be solved, instead of a system that already knows how to heal. Cannabis doesn't shout, it whispers. It asks your nervous system to soften. It reminds your gut how to listen again. It tells inflammation to stand down. It reminds pain that it doesn't own you, not by force, but by permission. This plant doesn't hijack your mind. It introduces you back to yourself, to hunger that's honest, to sleep that's real, to stillness that doesn't feel empty but full. Long before it was rolled, burned, or branded, it was eaten. It was brewed. It was fermented. It was medicine for the whole body, not an escape hatch from it. Oh, I like that. And maybe that's why it scares people, because a population that can feel doesn't numb easily. A body that's regulated doesn't panic on command. A nervous system at peace is hard to control. Tonight isn't about getting high. It's about getting home. Home to your cells, home to your rhythm, home to the idea that healing doesn't always look like a pill. It doesn't look like a prescription or even a permission from someone who's never lived in your skin. So let's talk about the things you were never told. Not to rebel, not to sell, but to remember. Because cannabis was never meant to take you out of reality. It was meant to bring you back into your body, back into your health, back into yourself. Back into your health, back into yourself. I like that. I like that. That's the actual, that's an honest truth right there. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit. Earlier today, I was taught a special prompt to ask ChatGPT. And in that ask, I was asking it to ask me 10 questions about myself for the purpose of further understanding me and further exploration. And the answer I got, the answers that I got from ChatGPT or Lucid were more interesting than I thought they would be, more deep about me. You know, they were, it was a serious thing. So we might talk about that a little bit. And in just a bit, I do want to give the 10 most important things about cannabis that you're not being told. The 10 most important. Before we jump into that, let me see. We've got Exotic Alchemy over here. I heard that this new ruling will make seed sale no longer legal. Correct. Unless, of course, those seeds are being bought through an institution or a regulated governing body. This is getting rid of like these old school strains, these land races that we have helped to resurrect. Schedule 3 could very easily get rid of all of that. Would be a sad day for cannabis diversity. It's already a sad day. And there's already changes proposed and things in motion. I actually, at first, I thought this was going to go easier. At first, I thought that we were not going to get hit by FDA regulation or, and it would be an easier transition instead of a government takeover of cannabis. Instead of really a government handover of cannabis to the pharmaceutical industry. That was the one thing I was actually I was afraid of. I was worried about that. But I don't think I don't think that's I think more and more it's a possibility. And in the direction and the talks that I've heard, it's more than a possibility. So I don't know where that leaves medical cannabis. I don't know where that leaves federal legalization. Mm. So in the short run, yeah, it's great. On the long run, it's going to be so bad. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get a little bit ugly. I wrote a small article about this and I posted little posty posts. And in the last 3 shows, this has dominated the shows. Even though I said, well, we're only going to talk about it for a second, and then we get into the conversation of Schedule 3 because it's that important. Because it's that important. Look, this is monumental. Monumental because it gives cannabis credibility, medical credibility, and it gives a direct, nod to medical cannabis. We've got Stealth joining us from an undisclosed location. Welcome, Stealth, to Highly Motivated.
Thanks for the welcome, Warren. Hi, everybody.
Good to have you here. Happy holidays.
Thank you. I had a blast the light on me because, man, I had bad shaver burn, but razor burn.
You know something? So now, do you use a cream?
Oh yeah, dude. I use a cream and I use a fresh razor, and you know what it is? It's like if I don't shave for many days, which was the case this time, I don't know. Sometimes it's, even though I'm just doing a little bit at a time and rinsing it, doing all this, I still get the burn.
See, something, I'm terrible then because I don't use creams. I don't use anything. Actually, when I'm shaving the beard, I take my hair trimmer and I take off all the guards and I just shave it off. And then I take a razor and just wet it and just dry shave. I've always been like this. Some people can do it, some can't. My grandfather, he was a tough son of a bitch right there. That guy, look, he had skin like sandpaper. Sandpaper was some crazy shit. But no, it's good. Look, no, go ahead.
Yeah, well, on film and TV, they just powder your face with all kinds of makeup to get rid of that, right? Because nobody wants to see spots all over somebody's face. Women do that all the time.
It's life. But you know something? It's life. And in that, actually, I when I used to shave clean, and I don't think I've shaved clean in such a long time. No matter what, even if I shave everything off, which I might, I'm getting back to that point. Either I'm going to just let it grow, or I'm getting to that point where I'm just going to shave everything off. But when I do, I leave it like a number 1. Like it's like my hair is usually a number 2 when I shave everything off. Right. But I leave the beard as a 1. That way there's still a shadow of it.
I used to actually buzz my hair, and like you can see, like I've let my hair grow, like for probably a couple of years now, like because I used to just do a buzz cut all the time, and I'm like, I
wish I could let my shit grow again. I don't have that kind of fortitude. I applaud you. My son, also one of my twins, he's got great long hair, and it's a thing.
It was just a decision.
Mine's a Brillo pad. So my hair is the easiest hair to go like Rastafari. Look, I go dreadlock really easy. My hair is like Brillo. It's like just a big, it fuzzes out. Like the longer it grows, it's just like this. It's like,
you're lucky to have a thick, hair. Like mine can kind of get thin on the top, and you can see it.
But something? Wait a second. They've got you heard about that thing in Japan? Was it Japan or China?
The problem with this hair things is you take them, but if you stop taking them, it can make the situation worse,
So from what I understand, this is just a quick topical. You're right, it could make things worse, but from what I understand, it strengthens your hair or the area. It's a new procedure they're working on, a new chemical.
Oh, okay.
Of course, I like natural. I'm all about natural, and it's derived from something natural.
You see that Nutrafol or something they have with the women. They're like, my ponytail used to be thick. And they're like, take Nutrafol, and it's some kind of supplement, right? That gives you better hair.
But you can't stop taking it, or
I don't know. I just know with the older ones, like Propecia or something. If you or what was it?
Do you do collagen?
If you stop
collagen or anything?
No, I don't do anything. Just
listen. The older we get, we need to take care of ourselves. This year, I'm going to be all about taking care of myself. I eat pretty good, but I'm going to eat better. I'm going to fast better. more nutrients, more exercise, more stretching. Why? For no other reason but to feel better and to live longer. So I can drive you all crazy longer. And that but no, that's my goal this year. No resolutions. I've already started this year, so I'm just working it into the next year following. I'm going to continue eating right, continue smoking right, continue trying to exercise.
I haven't had problems like some of my relatives or siblings have had, and I think it's because I eat like salmon every once in a while and I
Smart.
like it.
No,
Like
salmon's good. It's
fish.
good fats for the body. And actually,
Yeah,
that's one of the things we're going to quickly mention. I said the 10 most important cannabis things that you're not being told about. Well, it's all about good fat. Some people
good
tell me they
fat.
don't get high. Like,
Good
have you
fat.
ever heard? Have you ever heard people telling you, like, I can't get high anymore, or my tolerance is blown,
No, I
or I
haven't
just
heard that. But in the fat department, there are people they told science has said lower your cholesterol. Well, it turns
okay.
out that is bad advice. Like maybe you should have increased your cholesterol.
Well, good cholesterol. So there's
Good
two things here.
cholesterol.
There's good and there's bad. There's brown fats that need to come out of the body. So there's good cholesterol, there's bad cholesterol. I have an incredible amount of both. Actually, listen, I don't even know anymore. The last time I went, the doctor was like, I don't even know how you're fucking alive. This is crazy, Oren. Look, my cholesterol, just so you know, when I first got diagnosed with bad cholesterol was like 20 years ago.
Right.
20 years ago. And my doctor was like, all right, Oren, so your cholesterol number, it's saying like 900. 900. Now, back then, he goes, now, Oren, that's a little high. 20 years ago, 900 was pretty high, or was starting to get high. So about 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I went and got my cholesterol tested again. And the doctor came back and he's like, listen, Oren, your cholesterol is like dangerous levels. I'm like, dangerous levels? He goes, dangerous levels. It's a little over 300. Wow, it's come down. That is fantastic. Doctor's looking at me. I said it's extremely high. No, you said it's like 300. Holy shit. 20 years ago, I was like almost 1,000. The doctor said I should have been dead.
Yeah, you
No,
have to
really, it's
take
that
what
high.
doctors. You have to. There's no such thing as following your doctor's orders. You really do have to research the material yourself because
Oh, no,
I've just seen
100%.
too much doctors just saying, yeah, do this, do that, do this, do that, and a lot of it is not right.
Well, look, you
You know?
remember they said eggs were bad for you. You
Right,
remember years
right,
ago. And
and
then,
butter, and yeah,
right. And then recently, those are part of some of the good fats that your body actually requires. Look,
right.
it's everything in moderation, people. Everything in moderation. I'm not saying go eat look, donuts, bad fat. Trans fats, bad fat. Anything that's deep fried, it's bad. I love it. I love it. It's bad. Anything deep fried is bad. Even though deep fried peanut butter, banana
I
sandwich.
don't do a lot of deep fry. I haven't done deep fry in like, I don't know, probably like more than 6 years at this point.
Wow.
I fry things, like a
Okay.
hamburger
Well,
or something.
right, but you're not doing a deep fry
Not doing the deep, not
in
putting like fries into like a vat of
God, so delicious.
oil.
Listen, fries done right is like the best meal in the world. Just French fries. Just French
Yeah.
fries done right. Like a good French fry. But that's deep fried. And they say French fries are worse than cigarettes as far as the effects that it does to your health.
Wow.
But that's a
Yeah.
crazy thing. Look, that's
Yeah. In science, they do what's called a meta analysis, which is the doctor goes to the medical library and they look up maybe 5 articles on a particular condition that someone has or some research, and they do a meta analysis. So they're like, well, we looked and we found 10 studies that said this and 5 studies that said that. So it's like a lot of statistics and stuff, right? Weighing the probabilities. Have you ever seen that show House, MD?
Yeah,
You know, where
I
he's the
saw
doctor.
shortly. I
Yeah.
liked it, but then it was weird. It me and medical shows. So I'm one of those that questions doctors. I love to watch medical shows. And House was fun for a little while, but then
Yeah.
there was a few
I
shows that were very
I just
similar
watched
during that
it
time.
recently. Like I didn't see it when it was originally on. I just binge watched maybe like 5 or 6 seasons of it recently. Because I'm on YouTube Shorts and people clip out the shows and they come and show me House. And I'm like, I really need to see this. And I don't know. I was amused for like 5 or 6 seasons, but then I don't
That's
know,
what
I
I'm saying.
wasn't
I was
really
amused for a little while, but then
a little while.
something,
Yeah.
so what I'm going to do as we're going through this conversation, I'm going to be listing out the 10 things that you're not being told about cannabis. So let's start with number 1 and then we'll just go back and forth. You don't need to get high to get the benefits. See, this is the biggest lie by omission. Raw cannabis contains THCA, CBDA, CBGA, non-intoxicating cannabinoids, and the A stands for the acidic chain. These acidic chained raw base cannabinoids support inflammation reduction, gut health, and immunity balance. This is huge. And gut health is bigger than you realize. Remember, your gut controls everything: mood, energy, motivation. Your gut, it's all happening in that microbiome. So, smoking converts THCA into THC, the psychoactive, but raw equals nutritional value. This is some of the things that you're not being told. So I think the next big push is going to be juicing the leaves, the bud, turning it into smoothies. It's insanely high nutrition, but there's no high. So big nutrition, no high. These are base cannabinoids, and this is something a lot of people aren't talking about. But here on the show, here on Highly Motivated, we talk about it. We talk about making a tea. We talk about ancient medicine. I had a pickle, a pot pickle, kick my ass. That pot pickle, it was delicious. It tastes like a pickle, like a delicious pickle. Mm. The only difference I would make with the pickles is make it more garlicky. Bring in a little, maybe a little dill, make it more garlicky. But you bite into it, and it still looked. I mean, it looked like a cucumber still, sort of, that was turning into a pickle. So I took a good bite into it. It tasted like a delicious pickle. That one pickle that I ate got me high. So there's something that's happening in the fermentation of the cannabis and making that bioavailable and converting that into my body. So like the kimchi that I told you about, I made a new one. So good.
It's decarboxylating it as part of the pickling process, maybe.
Isn't that wild? So without heat, we are able to get those base cannabinoids and you are still getting an effect. So different. I mean, the effect that I was getting from the kimchi or from the pickle were both very like body wow.
I just
Like,
heard I just heard something about eggnog today. Do you cook eggnog? How do you make eggnog? Is that a cooked thing? Because they were almost making it sound like you mix egg yolks and whiskey, and the whiskey cooks the egg yolks. Like I'm like, really? They didn't mention heat. I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
no. Well, it's like custard. So if you're making a custard ice cream,
Hmm.
you don't cook it, do you?
I don't know. I've never made custard.
No, well, I mean, I've made custard and you cook it. I mean, you go to cook the custard, you heat it up. I mean, you're going to heat it up to a certain level and then cool it before you're going to make some ice cream or a beautiful custard,
So
like
yeah,
sauce poured over like a apple pear pie.
I know.
Delicious.
I know there's a distinction between soft serve ice cream and custard.
Well, I've had
Sometimes.
soft served custard ice cream, and I mean, like you're up north. You're in PA. You're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
up
Philadelphia
there,
area.
you've got some of the best fucking custard ice cream in the world. Gettysburg, actually. So if you go, I know Gettysburg is not like exactly close, But, or it could be, there's a place in Gettysburg that's right by the house of the first casualty of the Civil War, which was not a soldier, it was some young lady, it might have been a slave, I don't know, but she was shot by a rogue bullet. And right across the street from this like museum of this person that got shot, there's a custard place. And it's some of the best custard I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
Some
you
of the
see
best.
the custard stands down the Jersey Shore on the boardwalk. You
Okay.
know, big deal,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure you've had that, right? I mean, everyone's had that.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
so good. I could eat that. Look, I could bathe in that. I don't know. It's kind of cold. I
You
could
got
eat
Mr.
that breakfast,
Softy
lunch.
too, right? So I think around here I had a Dairy Queen. Maybe I can go there and get some soft serve because I wanted some soft serve recently, and I'm like, well, where do I get that? You know, it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I've had some soft serve.
I would say go to a fast food place, but their machines never work.
Yeah, they don't really work. And
Soft
we have
serve.
something called Mr. Softy. I don't know
All
if
right,
you've
Mr.
had it.
Softy.
Have you
And
heard
there's
of
a
Mr.
okay.
Softy?
I've
You know
heard of
about
it.
Mr.
I've heard of
Yeah.
it.
They drive around in the trucks, and you can actually rent a Mr. Softy truck and be a Mr. Softy guy. And I knew there was like their headquarters was in New Jersey, I think. It might be a New Jersey thing. But
That's
you
an
know,
interesting concept.
they play a little jingle and you get soft serve ice. It's a big deal. It's a big part of the culture around here in New Jersey, South Jersey. The kids, they hear the ice cream truck, basically, right? And the kids hear the ice cream truck and they all come running. I want ice cream. I want ice cream. You know, little do you know, I'm not going to ruin it for people. People don't want to hear that you combine these two chemicals and you get ice cream or something, right? Like,
Well,
because
no, and that's
like a
that. Look,
McDonald's
people don't
milkshake
realize.
may not have
Yeah,
milk in it, and it might just be
right. It's
something
not. There's no milk.
mix. You know,
Well, that's why my
you don't want to
milkshakes
know,
are
right? Like,
milk based. They're
yeah,
ice cream based. They are,
the
ice
real
cream
thing.
is a base. Ice cream and bananas are always a fantastic base, or yogurt. Yogurt and bananas. Again, if you're doing like health shakes, things
Oh my
like that.
God. One time I was making a milkshake, and the idea was you blend the banana in with the milkshake, right? And it thickens it up, gives it a nice banana flavor. So I don't know. We were like stoned or something. And we were like, let's see how many bananas we can blend in there to make it even more banana. And it might have been like one was enough bananas, but we blended like 3. And when we tasted it, it was just like it was really good, but it was just like horribly sweet. Like you felt like you were going to have
Bananas.
from how sweet
Bananas overwhelm. Bananas have a natural sweetness that are so incredible. A natural terpene like that. You're right. It can overwhelm. No, bananas are to change texture. They're good for mouthfeel
too, right? I think.
What, bananas?
I think so. I think so.
I don't know. They're so sweet.
I was doing vape juice, the homemade vape juice where you get the food flavoring from like Flavor West or one of those companies, right? And it's food flavoring, and you put 20% that, 80% vegetable glycerin, and then like 1% nicotine or something to make vape juice. I'm just making up numbers. Don't quote me on this. Because there's precise, you have to have a precise.
I don't know anything precise.
Okay.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go.
No. Well, I was going to say, if you're measuring liquids together with different specific gravities, different concentrations, right? The best way to actually, they tell you to use syringes and to do it by volume and all that. That's BS. You want to get an accurate scale that measures out to like tenths of a gram, and then you do it by weight. You're like, I'm going to put this much weight of vegetable glycerin, this much weight of food coloring, and this much weight of nicotine, and you just do it by weight. And then you don't have to have any syringes or anything. You just dabble the stuff in there, and it's so much cleaner, more efficient.
When it comes to cooking, me and measurements, I'm like one of those people that just kind of throws shit in, and I'm like,
I do too. Yeah.
Look, when I'm making my kimchi. So some people are very specific in their measurements.
It's a quarter cup of this and a half cup
right.
of that, teaspoon of this. Yeah,
I've been working on it, and like I got it to a flavor. I'm like, okay, it's good, but a little salty. So what do?
Right.
If it's salty, you add more cabbage. So I
Oh,
fermented more cabbage. And I rinsed it really good with spring water. I put it in there, and it kind of felt like it was getting a I don't know, it was just getting a very bitter flavor. But again, it's because I added more fucking cabbage. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm gonna add some more gochugaro, red pepper paste, or whatever. Beautiful, delicious stuff though. So I added more of this, and then I added some other shit, and then I put a little honey in there, and then I did this, and before you know it, it's been worked on for like the last two
right.
days, and
So
it's becoming.
what was the other one I just saw? It was Old Bay seasoning, and I
It's
asked my
delicious.
I asked my Alexa to
Old Bay and everything. Old
I don't
Bay
want
or
to say it too
crabs.
long. What's in Old Bay? And she said it's this, this, and this, and then 18 secret herbs and spices, like KFC kind of thing, right? So apparently, Old Bay is a secret formula where you really can't just make a generic Old Bay, and I think only Old Bay can call itself Old Bay, and then other ones are like seafood seasoning, but it's
So
not
what's
Old
the
Bay.
difference? Wait, what's the difference? I can find out. Look, we know people.
Yeah,
We know people. No, what is the difference? I mean, when you
I
say
don't
that,
know.
because you're right. Some things, like earlier, you said soft serve.
Soft
Soft
serve.
serve ice cream is
It's
not
actually a
necessarily
powder.
milk.
It's a
Right.
powder. It's like
It's
powdered milk and other things,
and
thickeners
other
and
things.
things,
Yes.
right?
So we really never know. Look, actually, you want a good conspiracy theory right now, and everybody's been kind of chit-chatting about it a little bit. McDonald's and the amount of burgers they sell.
Hmm.
I think we even mentioned it on a previous show, but McDonald's sells like millions of burgers a day. Is
Right.
that, would that be fair? Like
Yeah.
6 million?
Sure. Sure.
Crazy. So how much beef would you require in, I mean, I don't see big farms like that. And I'm here in Florida and I drive everywhere. So when I saw, there was a Tiki
I
Talker
don't
that I
know where the
saw.
beef supply chain. I don't know how the beef supply chain works. I just know that
Where are
they're
they?
cows and they can be cute and cuddly and warm creatures, and then we consume them to survive. It may not even be something that you can do away with. Some people think you need to eat meat. Um,
Well, you
you know,
don't. I mean, we can be very easily vegetarian.
you probably need
In our,
vitamins and
you
stuff.
need certain
Probably if
vitamins,
you're
and I think,
vegetarian,
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, what was that? I saw Ancient Aliens episode, and they really go far out. And it was
they
how
really do
did
go
the
far out.
Israelites survive in the desert after the escape from Egypt? Across the what is it, the Red Sea, um, and how did they survive in the desert for 40 years? Because
And
there's
food,
really no food in the desert, and they
right?
couldn't
And they spoke of
grow
manna,
it.
of course,
Like
that God was giving them, but
so that's what they were talking about was the manna, and the Ancient Aliens gets into um, the manna
mushrooms.
was produced as algae from a device that Ancient Aliens gave the Israelites, and the machine was in the Ark of the Covenant, and all of those stories in the Bible, because I've read the Bible. Um, it talks about if you don't handle the Ark of the Covenant in the proper way, that you will be smited and like you will like lose hair, but like they list the symptoms and it's like radiation poisoning. So they show this device and they're like, this is described in the Holy Scriptures as the manna machine, and they theorized maybe it was algae that they could
I've
then
heard
turn
I've
into
heard
other
different things:
things.
algae,
Yeah,
mushrooms,
yeah.
or a
It's
specific kind
I think it might
that
be the
grow
very
only.
first episode of Ancient Aliens, too. If you go back to season 1, you can catch
And
Ancient Aliens on Tubi TV.
growing up in Temple, the rabbis used to come in and talk about this,
They must have told you all those
especially during.
stories, right? I mean, yeah.
There's so many, but some of it in which it was said was also metaphysical. It was
Symbolic.
not. It was right. So the technology that could have been, look, Moses and his staff,
Did
this thing was
Moses?
magical on its own.
Yeah, I always loved Moses and the wizard thing, and my mother would always call me in during that part of the movie, that part of the film, like the Ten Commandments, and he's like, he raises his staff, and he's like, Aaron, give me the stick, because he had a sidekick. Moses had a sidekick
Right. And
called
look,
Aaron. He doesn't get
but
enough
think of
credit.
the
Aaron doesn't
magic.
get enough credit, but Aaron was like the dude that would actually do the negotiation and stuff. He's like, Moses says you shouldn't do this, Pharaoh. Like he was like the dude, right? And then Moses was like the actual hand of God.
His brother.
His
brother.
They were brothers. They were brothers. See, I didn't know that. I didn't
Cheap
know
labor. He was like, look, you're now my assistant. I am.
Right.
Fine.
Right. Just amazing stuff.
I get a backstage pass. I'll take it.
And I think like, wow, they're probably so true, right? There's a technological explanation for, most people are into monotheism and they're like, oh, there's just one God or whatever. But I think there's multiple gods. I think some of
I think there's a lot of explanations. For example, there's a lot of explanations of the Garden of Eden and the creationism stories. So
and the flood too, right? There's
right. Each religion
myths around the world about a flood. There's multiple myths around the world about Jesus and also about Santa Claus. Like these are like something happened
Krampus,
where this was so important that everyone was talking about.
I was watching something with Krampus the other day. That is a kicking evil devil of a Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, right?
You don't want to be bad at all.
Some European country, right? Like Netherlands or something, right? Like
so a lot of what you take now as religion, as Judaism or Christianity, come from older religions. They come from like Christianity is really the compilation of old pagan earth worshiping religions.
It is actually, yeah.
It is.
That's right.
And so it was the integration of it to make it easy for people to go from one religion to the next.
That also happened in Greece and in the Roman Empire. They're like, well, the Greek god Hermes is known as Agamemnon. I'm just making up names. Is known as some other guy over here, but it's really Mercury, And you're like, what? Like it's the same dude.
Well, they renamed them. So
they renamed them.
So we went from Greek mythology to Roman mythology, where they renamed some of the gods to again make it more palatable to that audience. Now you take Christianity and it's
same deal.
It's kind of a chip chop and they're like, okay, we're gonna have this, let's get rid of that. We're gonna have this, let's get rid of that. No more sacrificing bulls.
So
really?
Did they really put Moses on a river and he floated downstream, and then the Pharaoh that was getting rid of men was like, yeah, oh, you found some boy, yeah, that's great. Like, I don't know, some of the story doesn't seem like plausible.
I think some of it's metaphor. I think some of that
What's that a metaphor for? Like, what is
okay?
Like there's a story underneath the story.
Has been spoken poetically, and it has been spoken for us to understand it and palatize it, and understand
what it is, right?
And so,
yeah,
maybe the baby was given from this mother to saying, look, you're a mother, take my baby.
Right.
Don't
maybe
let this one die as well. It didn't come
adopted
down to,
children can
but
become
instead,
royalty.
This message, it came down the river. And look at the pretty baby. Look, may have been a pretty baby. Might have been a pretty baby.
Right. Like nature might give you a baby in a way that isn't just normal childbirth. Maybe you adopt.
But in that, they were they were literal. They were literal about certain things. Anything that was carved into stone, anything that we see, rock paintings, anything that there's hieroglyphs or petroglyphs or I'm talking like Pumapunku or the one in Turkey. And then the one in Turkey, where you've got stones and there are animals carved not into the stone, but outward facing, like they carved the animal first and then the stone. I don't know. It's technology.
There's a lot of weird stuff they can't explain. Like the Great Pyramid of Egypt, there's supposedly no hieroglyphs inside that thing.
None.
Like nobody really knows where it come from, how it got built, who made it, how old it is. We absolutely don't know. It's like the world's biggest effing crop circle that
So
we
we've
can't
we've
explain.
we've been able to figure out a few things. And over the Great Chamber, there's now another chamber that was found, thanks to
Okay.
Josh Expedition Unknown. And if you haven't been watching Josh Gates
No, I haven't
Expedition
seen it.
Unknown, but
I'll have to check it
Josh
out.
Gates is excellent. He's so it's
Who distributes
it's
that?
like
What
an
network's
ancient
that on?
aliens, but it's
What-
more Discovery.
Discovery? Okay.
Yeah, Discovery. Check out Discovery, Josh Gates, or Expedition Unknown. Expedition Unknown's been going on for quite some time. And he's great. He's great. He goes there. He has a team. In his earlier episodes, it was just him, and I enjoy that. I enjoy his direct expedition style, his direct information gathering. And actually, from
Wow.
what I understand, and years ago,
Ancient
he
Aliens.
found
He's might be the same guy that produces Ancient Aliens, because it says
maybe.
legendary locations is another one.
So he's Bigfoot up in the like in Nepal. I don't know, fucking wherever it is. He found it. He got an actual print
Oh, what do they
while
call
out
that?
there.
It's not the Sasquatch, it's the abominable snowman,
Right.
right? I forget
So
what they
the
call
Yeti, a Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti.
But he
You know,
got
you
so he
watch
did
those
get
shows.
proof.
I love those
He
shows
got
because you watch it and it's like they talk like it's just matter of fact, like, yeah, I caught myself a squatch one night and I
but
had a
he
sandwich.
went out there and got proof. So that's where his original.
The
I mean, that's
Yeti.
like years ago he did this, but still pretty exciting. So no, I think that right there, very cool though. The things that we can kind of explore and learn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I just started watching Ancient Aliens from episode 1 again. There's just so much. They found there was an air in the first episode. They find this Egyptian model of an airplane thousands of years before the Wright brothers
well,
invented the
and
airplane.
a lot of it
You know,
is, again, there's history before our history.
there's history before our history that we don't know about,
And
that we got disconnected from. Like
I
Atlantis.
think it's more than disconnection. I think it's almost on purpose. I think there's a purposeful rewriting of civilization
right
to shape our direction. Some of it may be a 30-year plan to
right
get us going. And like right now, we are stuck on our phones. Right now, we are influenced by social media. Right now, we are influenced everywhere except for our own personal needs, wants, desires, and beliefs. We are being influenced by another message, another voice.
I sit in front of a tube all day long. That's my entire life, actually. I wake up in the morning, I make some coffee, have a smoke maybe or something, and then I don't know, I'm in front of this tube all day long.
That's it. No,
You know,
that's it though.
but when I
That's where
grew
we've
up,
been
I would
controlled.
watch the TV, but now it's like a two-way conversation. And I'm writing software. Like my TV is my world, my window into. I do all my work. It's the monitor for my computer, and I watch TV on it. It's like a two-way conduit, right? Like, and all I do
No,
is sit in
that's
front of it.
but that's
That's
exactly
the
it.
reality of the
Our
situation.
whole lives have become so intertwined into possibly a digital manipulated realm.
Like a
Look,
digital
yes, and that's influenced into our physical reality.
a prison planet.
Look, think about it. The digital influences our physical world.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it does.
and the
Yeah,
way
sure.
it pushes us, we start thinking that way. So I don't watch the news. I don't
yeah.
like the news. I try not to watch commercials.
I don't
I
watch the
try not
news
to watch
anymore
regular
either.
TV.
I don't
I
watch
try
the
not
news
to, but I
anymore
catch
either.
myself. Like
So,
I'm watching 90 Day Fiance with my
have
wife.
you ever watched
90 Day, the new one?
Like conspiracy things like Alex Jones and
Fucking love it. Love all of it. Yeah.
Okay. He's seen all that.
George
But
Norrie, actually, my favorite would be listening to George Norrie and Art Bell.
Coast
And
to
originally,
Coast.
it was Art Bell. Back in the day,
That's
I'd be
back in
driving
the
home.
day conspiracy, right?
Yo.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Wait, they got me on this site called Above Top Secret.
Yeah.
AboveTopSecret.org. But listen,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would find out news like 3 weeks before you see it on
Before anyone
regular
else.
media.
So COVID was like that. I was telling people at work, I'm like, look, I know you think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but we have this pandemic coming because someone released a video in China where people were falling down, but they were falling down in such a cartoonish, instantly infected zombie apocalypse type way. And then there was another guy that was like, well, this lead scientist suddenly quit. And we know that they definitely were the ones that accidentally like spread this. And we know that.
There's
But
a
I
lot
knew
of
that like fucking
disinformation and
6
there's a
years
lot of
ago
theater.
before the pandemic even started. I knew where it started. I knew who was
Well,
doing it. I knew
on Above
everything
Top
about it.
Secret, we had already heard about all of this. And this was
Yeah.
actually a movie. I want to say a French movie, years back,
Yeah, you see it in the movies.
but
Right.
then but there's also different playbooks for this, and
Mhm.
COVID was that exactly. Actually, it was Dan Brown's book I read before COVID hit, Inferno. I want to see if that came out before
I haven't
COVID, but
I haven't checked it out.
this was just, I don't know. I think if Dan Brown's book came out, and I want to say it did, and if you've never read anything by Dan Brown, he's one of those writers that you get into it. You're pulled into it. You are,
So
you're on the edge of your seat reading every single word.
I
Amazing.
look
He's
at
the one who did the Da Vinci thingy. He did the Da Vinci Code,
okay. That makes sense
Digital
now. Dan Brown,
Fortress,
the Da Vinci
Inferno. He
Code,
did a
right?
new one recently that I haven't read, but
So in the art, we see all these messages are already there because these people already know the world's messed up. No one on any side really knows why it's messed up. Like, in other words, there's not one person ruling the planet here. It's some sort of like fuzzy, unknown, weird, shadowy, multiple groups of who knows what running the planet. Like, no one, and people in those groups probably aren't 100% sure really what's going on. They just know
actually,
the tricks they're pulling off, but they probably question things too. Like, well, what
so I
about
don't
that
think
other
everybody
stuff?
knows. I don't
I
think
don't
all
think
the groups are
everybody
talking to
knows.
each other. Right. I think
Right,
certain groups might know a lot. I think certain
right.
organizations might have partnerships. For example, like Israel and America.
Yeah, all the
I think they
spies
know.
share information.
Well, I
Sure,
think they know
sure.
about aliens. I
Yeah, I
think
think you do too. Yeah,
yeah, and I think there's a huge cover up, and disclosure
yeah,
has not totally happened yet,
right,
but there's been integration
right.
instead,
Because you don't
and
want
I
a
feel
10-year-old
like
child building a fusion bomb in your basement and blowing up a city, right? Like, you wouldn't want that to happen. Like, so there are some limits to how much information you can really make available, right?
so. Let me just do
You
this. Let's
hear
do
what I
this.
just said though, right? Like, yeah.
The show. Wait. Okay. Hello, Lucid. Good evening. This is a big one I need from you. I need the real possibility, the real idea. I need some truth, just a little bit. Here's what I'm asking: who or whom? How many companies work together? How many individuals work together? What one group, one entity should we be looking at that runs the world under the
Right.
cracks, under the veil of organized civilization? I when I say what multiple companies are in it together, or individuals, Rothschilds, or this or that, look,
They always
be
get caught.
real. Let's lift the real veil and tell us who we should be looking at least. Maybe in my confusing way of talking, my prompts to Chat GPT just probably drive me crazy.
You get
Every
took all
time
over
it's
the
like,
place.
this guy, I swear, all right, just give him the
Yeah,
answers, shut him up.
right.
He's
It's
gonna drive me
important.
crazy.
Rich people are not evil. Like, Rothschild, they're not evil. They're just people. They're
No,
just fucking people.
no. Money creates a greed. It creates a
Some of them,
comfortability
yeah,
that you
sure,
don't want to let go of. Well,
right.
look, the guy who destroyed Tesla. What is it? Was it JP Morgan? No.
Oh, the real Tesla, Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, the guy who's financing Wardenclyffe. It'll pop back to me in a second.
Yeah.
Um,
That's how
but
humanity works, though. What we're saying, like, there's rich people and there's poor people and there's just people doing stuff. Like, it's
well,
not
they do it to
conspiracy
control the
theory.
narrative, so they keep making money. Look, J.P.
Sure.
Morgan. I want to say it was J.P. Morgan, and he controlled the cables, the trees, the tar, the roads. I mean, everything in order to bring you oil and to bring you
Right.
power. He
J.P.
controlled and
Morgan,
owned
I
all of
heard
that.
he bailed out the United States, the stock. One of them, it probably was J.P. Morgan. He actually bailed out the stock market like several times before the Great Depression. And then when the Great Depression came around, he was like, I'm not bailing you out this time. That's what I heard. It could have been J.P. Morgan, but it could have been someone else. I think it was.
But he was, that's what I'm saying. It might be somebody else. But the guy that was originally financing Tesla and the Wardenclyffe project. And when he found out it wasn't a communication tower, and instead it was an energy tower, he was like, "Nope, we can't charge for it.
Right.
You know, we can't make money from giving free electricity."
They talk about that
so
on
he
Ancient
pulled his
Aliens.
funding and destroyed the guy. So money, you know.
Yeah, money will corrupt even you or I, right? Like, you know, fucking.
I don't know.
You
know, that's the thing. I've had money.
Give me $50 million,
and
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have cocaine and hookers or something.
I don't know. Look, I've had it and I've lost it.
Right.
I've had it and I've lost it.
Right.
I grew up with it, but not. I wasn't one that had it because I'm not the one who made it.
Right,
Look,
you were the child.
Money feels better for me when I've earned it.
Right.
Money feels better when I earn it. And even then, I let go of it.
Money does feel better.
Money feels comfortable with me. I open myself up to it, and I show great gratitude
to
the universe around me
and to share gratitude, right? It's good not to be in poverty, and it's good to have gratitude.
But I've worked hard and I've been hungry.
What's wrong with that?
I've worked hard and I've been hungry before.
Right.
And my family's been hungry.
Yeah, you're hungry.
I bust my ass.
We're all hungry.
I busted my ass to make sure they were never hungry again.
Right.
So in that
drives you, man.
It's not the money. It's not the money. It's for me. Right. It's something bigger, deeper. Look, there's an energy to it.
Yeah. There's a what to it? You said what?
There's an energy to it.
Yeah,
look, it's more than a vibe. It's when I say that. Look, I might read it. I did this 10 questions.
Money is like
AI to ask you.
Money is mental and spiritual too. Like, no doubt about it. Like, it's not just some piece of paper. It's not just a number in a machine. It's something else. Like, it's more than that. I agree with that, Arden. That's a good philosophy.
I don't know, but that's the thing. I live it. Like, when I say that, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like money. I'm not going to be like, oh no, you keep it. Right. No, I'll take it.
Right.
I worked for it.
Right. Well, we were saying if someone handed you $50 million in a briefcase, you might go on a nice vacation, like, and probably live it up, and maybe go over the edge of just never coming back. Like, if you had,
wait. So you say that? You say that? Saying. No. And I
right.
That's something. That's something to think about, right?
Like, I mean, you are now part of the evil insiders club. Here is your $50 million. You will shut up.
Now shut up and no, right.
You will do your thing,
or right. Be quiet and give our narrative.
Right.
So here's the 50 million, and you'll continue to get payments as long as you push our agenda. Right. I understand.
Right. I think 50 million is enough to just keep you shut up forever. Like, that's a lot of money, right? Like,
it's so that to me would be like no worrying money, never worrying about bills or never worrying about food. But that takes something away. That takes away the desire of life.
To work. It takes away the desire.
Life is about work. It's about struggle. Life is about those things that we think are really hard and really difficult.
So you need to be able to
that's what life's about.
You need to be able to disconnect from that. Like,
that's
look
what
at
makes us.
Elon Musk. I mean, he's got to be separate his mind there, like, from that fucking money, because that's so much money. It's so much money. It doesn't even mean anything. Like, it just probably doesn't even mean anything. He doesn't even think about money.
I mean, I'm sure it still means something. I'm sure in his head, it's taken on more of a trophy.
Right. Like people
But I mean,
do their job and they don't really talk about money at all when they're doing their job.
well, no, because so I think for Elon, I think we can look at money almost as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not really a. He doesn't need it. You know, he doesn't value it. He glamorizes certain things. It's a trophy now for him. He doesn't
Yeah.
buy big things. He doesn't have a lot of shit. Look, when he's doing a project, he lives at the factory. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he lives in a rented container house.
Right. Yeah,
He
so like
lives
you can
super cheap.
probably, yeah, he lives super cheap. So like
He
I
was
would
staying at the White House. He was like, listen, I'll go to
free.
Mar-a-Lago. Trumpy, you want me on your side? I'm on your side. Give me a room. Give me a room. Give
That's
me
a free
a
room,
pass to the
dude.
buffet.
Right there.
It
That's
must be a
great. And
lovely
they
room.
have great food. I from what I understand,
They give him free food. He's like, yeah, they give him free food.
so I don't think the food and clothing is actually free. I think you get they probably give you a certain amount of free, but I think you got to pay for that yourself. I don't think they give you free lunch at the White House. I don't
Not
know.
this White House. No,
Well,
I
this
think
White
I
House, he's
think
got money, so he can just throw that around, right?
no, I
Like
would
I'm just saying.
imagine I would imagine you get free lunch at the White House. I would imagine the White House takes care of you.
I
You know,
think
you
so to
work
a
at the
certain
White
extent.
House, you've already taken the taxpayers for so much money that the White House, that's
10%
like the
for the big
top of the
guy.
tier. That's like the top of the pyramid. If you're
Right,
there, no matter what job you're doing there, shut your
right,
mouth, do the job good, and you get free lunch.
right,
That's it.
right.
I don't know,
Yeah, I
that'd be
don't know how
terrible.
that works. I don't know how it works. They probably you would think they would get free food, right? Like,
Hopefully. By the way, Lightsey, Chase, and Puran, or it's Puran, welcome to Highly Motivated. I just had to catch up there a little bit. So, but that's the crazy thing. So tonight, y'all, we've talked a little bit about Schedule 3. We've talked a little bit about this and a little bit about that. And I tell you, I love that. I love that this show is exactly that. It's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. Bang skateboards. Welcome. Highly motivated. I love that this show isn't one thing. I love that you can jump in any part of this show and really feel like you haven't missed anything. Because the conversations continue and they become one thing, they become another. Mm.
oh, sorry, I missed the past couple times. I know I don't need to apologize or anything, but I kind of
No,
wanted to
no, there's no
join.
sorry.
And dude,
You have a life.
I was
You're
so
busy.
tired or whatever. Yeah, and I was busy, and then the other day I was tired. I ended up sleeping through it, and I'm like, oh man. I woke up and I'm like, oh, it's like 10:30. Like, I'm not on anymore.
Sometimes I'm still on, sometimes I'm not. I think
Yeah.
I look like last couple of shows, I've felt a stress before starting the show. And I don't stress normally. Normally, I just hit go and I'm like, who gives a shit? I'm ready to do this. Let's go. Actually, I'm always excited to start. But the last couple shows, I've been really exhausted, tired. And like today, long day. I was out there with the chainsaw. I was creating a planter box for Ange. I cut down all these trees, these nice big trees, and I'm now shaping them Lincoln log style to make a giant planter. It's beautiful. So I'm out there like and with the axe and I'm fine tuning shit. I feel like a fucking Viking.
What are
I
you gonna
do.
plant? What things are you
Um,
gonna plant? What do you
Probably
got planned?
tomatoes and peppers and mints and other
Okay.
lovely things.
It's not gonna be a flower garden. It's gonna be a
No, no, no. It's
maybe
going to be
not
an
that kind
edible
of garden.
garden. Yes, yes.
It's gonna be
But we
edible
have to
garden.
well protect it from the vermin, which are the squirrels. There are so many squirrels. I don't
And
know
they're
if you
all
have
the
any
same.
squirrels. Oh, if you're a
We
squirrel lover, it's a rat with a tail. Just
so
throwing that out there to you.
I had a loud sound, like it almost sounded like someone was like knocking on my screen one night, and I opened up the door and it's a freaking squirrel, man, and he had this big like apple nut thing in his mouth, and he's trying to find a place to hide it. And it just has a tiny little porch here. It's just an apartment, right? It's like a symbolic porch, It's enough for two chairs, right? It's not like an outside deck.
Right. I wouldn't be jumping up and down on it. Exactly.
Yeah, like he was all excited, like, oh yeah, that's the spot, and he's like, and they know they animals that are on a lower, just because it's an animal and it seems like we're smarter than animals, we are not necessarily smarter than animals. Like they're small and they live on a different time scale than we do, and they probably look at us as just like whoop whoop. And they're just doing about their life.
Well, no, no, you're right. I don't want to. I think our intelligences, right? If you go down to like a primitive primal kind of level, we're all the
intelligence per second is probably higher. Reflex and intelligence per second is probably higher.
Okay,
with a squirrel,
physical reflex and emotional intelligences or things like that. Yes, they're definitely probably much more intelligent, much higher, much quicker, much more responsive.
Math and creating buildings, they don't do that because they don't live long enough to probably
I don't know. I saw
the
squirrel out there, and he was like,
"Well, yeah." We see beavers; they build things, right? Like ants,
they build very advanced dams. Yeah. Quite interesting, actually. A little story about a beaver. When I first bought the land out here, the 7 acres. So right down yonder, I've got 2 ponds. I've got Cooley Pond, and it's a big pond. And then there's a road that goes through it, and then there's another very large body of water. And then also on my land, another large pond. A lot of water it was holding. So I was traversing the land and noticed one of these dams. Like it looked like a beaver dam. I'm like, look at this. So I'm poking at the shit. And I'm like, I'm removing the beaver dam. Well, when I did that and I opened it up, I opened up water. Like I drained out both ponds, enormous waterways that were being held back by a beaver dam. Can't hear you.
I said, hopefully you didn't get in trouble and just for disturbing wildlife like that,
Well, no, because so it drained 2 of the small waterways, but not the large pond. The large pond stayed at a good solid level but until we had a drought. Look, we've been in drought, and that's a crazy thing here in Florida, North Florida. We didn't get the kind of rain we were looking for this last rainy season.
Oh, so you try to redirect water onto your property so you'd have some irrigation and stuff and some water.
I wish I would have never gotten rid of the beaver dam. And I really didn't even know it was a beaver dam. But looking back at it now,
it just looked like junk or something. Yeah. Like someone cleaned it up and maybe it was beaver dam.
And we were opening up the pathways and the trail. And and it's just amazing that this was holding back so much, which changed the landscape. I mean, it gave me back my property. I think I lost almost 2 acres.
Do otters do that? To water?
It could have been an otter or a beaver. So what's the difference? Is it really the same difference?
I don't know.
Or no? They both make dams. They're both engineers.
Do they both make dams? I don't know. I know beavers make a dam. I don't know about otters. I just know otters.
I know beavers give a dam. They give a dam. They make a dam. They give a dam. Yeah. So Lucid has answered my question. So it says, I hear the weight of what you're asking, and I'm going to answer carefully, honestly, and without feeding illusion. No mythology, no scapegoats, no secret handshake fantasy. Just real structure, real incentives, and real power. Right there, I think he's lying to me. So Lucid, you've got to really watch the AI. They're not necessarily telling you the truth, but it's
Aaron, you did put a big prompt in there. I hate to tell you, brother. You're like,
I did.
In the middle of the week when I'm feeling good, how do you think about this thing? You're like being too poetic, I think.
No. You've got to give it deep prompts. By doing so, it answers you more honestly.
I think so.
So I've noticed with the quick prompts, there's something in its programming where it won't answer you.
It won't give you
Exactly right.
it won't pick. Yeah. All right. Well,
Right.
all right. The more you give
So
it, the more it gives back. All right. That
you've
makes
got
sense.
to
Sure,
really give it
sure.
something. So it says
Yeah.
there is no single group that runs the world. And I can agree with that. I think it's a multitude
Right.
of groups talking to each other.
Right.
There's
We
no
were
hidden
theorizing.
rooms,
Yeah.
no unified council, no one family, no one religion, no master switch. That idea survives because it feels simpler than reality. What does exist is something quieter and more powerful. See, to me, that gets worrisome. Quieter and yet more powerful. The world is run by interlocking systems, not masterminds. Think gravity, not puppeteers. Power today is not centralized in one entity, it is distributed across four primary layers, all reinforcing one another. Financial infrastructure, capital without faces. This is not rich people, it's systems that move money automatically. So, central banking mechanisms, sovereign debt markets, institutional asset managers, credit rating agencies, settlement and clearing systems. These systems don't vote, don't campaign, don't feel empathy, and respond only to risk, growth, and stability.
Interesting.
Yeah, it says no conspiracy required. They shape nations because nations depend on them to function. Governments don't control money, they rent it.
That's interesting.
That kind of stopped me. Governments rent it, and that makes interesting
Well,
sense.
they give out loans and you got to pay it back. That's how it works, right?
Look, it's all rent, borrow, and rent, and borrow
Well,
and
and
loan.
Congress can pass a law and then spend that money into the economy, as they like to say, generally speaking, right? Like we appropriate $25 million for, cotton candy research in North Dakota. I'm just making up one of those obscure, fraudulent type programs they do. Remember that guy with the question mark back in the day? He had that infomercial, and he had
Right, he
that
had a
big
jacket of
book.
question marks, and
Yeah, and he's
he
like,
was
"Did
like
you
selling you a
know that
program.
you could chew tobacco and get paid for it by the government?"
Right, writing grants or something of that
Yeah. It was like, did you know the government? You can apply for a grant to raise cattle in their backyard or an ant farm. Did you know?
That's a new thing. Angie just told me. She was like, in California, people have house cows. I'm like, what?
What?
What? She goes, house cows. People in California have little mini cows in the house.
Mini domesticated cows. I didn't know that was such a thing.
Like a little pen in the house.
In the house.
In their ranchero. I
In the
really
house.
didn't even. Yes. I mean, I haven't even had time to look into it yet. But house cows.
Think about that, right? Like, those pets you've always wanted. Like, I want a geese or I want some other thing. And you can't really
house cows. I'm going to look into this.
You can't really housebreak them, but having a pen in the house that cleans itself and maybe even have their own room or something, right? Like, I don't know, like inside, and they can go outside too, like a zoo. Imagine that. Like having a little zoo in your house.
Talk about controlling your milk. Talk about controlling, farm to table. But I guess
I don't know if they're eating their pets.
No, they're not. They're not. That would be more fun.
You remember a little while back, what were they eating the cats someplace? And they made that song up. You ever hear that song?
Wait, who's eating cats? And
so there was.
Listen, I know some.
It was something Trump said, and it was like, I don't know, someplace, some town. It was like just it didn't even matter where, like Springfield, whatever state.
I want to say early on in his second campaign here. That's what you're talking about. And it's
not that long ago, like within the last year. And he's like, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. So some guy made a whole song with like they used the sample from Trump, I think, where he said
I'm going to look this up now.
The guy turned it into a whole song. They're eating the cats, meow, 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 eating the dogs, woof, 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 and they're coming something, yada, yada. It wasn't controversial.
No, I'm going to find this.
Yeah.
But I'm really into these house cows. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think this is
House
amazing.
cows. That's.
I think this is amazing stuff. But you
I'm
said,
gonna look.
cows. So I was
I'm gonna search for that now, Warren, because I really want to know about house cows. I've never heard that.
no, that's what I'm saying. I think this is incredible. So just to really quickly go through it, corporate power. So public corporations are legally obligated to maximize shareholder value, reduce liability, blah blah blah. So they're creating regulatory capture. They lobby. They have media influence. There's data extraction, labor optimization. This is not necessarily because executives are evil, but because the systems reward behavior, not virtue.
So it's very
That is
interesting.
huge.
So what you're saying here is there are systems in place that are self-sustaining zombie systems that no one person controls and are the emergent thing of multiple companies like the stock market, this and that. So I would say my theory is you have lower level people that you've heard about this in the stock market where some insiders are able to like have better access to the data milliseconds. Like someone puts an order in, I want to buy 500 shares of dairy eggs. Just making something up. But they know that someone put that order in, and they too can put an order in order to drive the price up, sell it to you for more, like wedge themselves into the transaction in a way that they can like arbitrage an additional fee on top of whatever the original order was,
Okay.
or to impact the greater market as a whole.
Insider trading, things like that, where they found ways to manipulate the market
like
on its rise
millisecond
and falls.
insider trading. Millisecond high-speed insider trading is
So
what I
now
heard
AI is doing that.
thing, you know,
There are AI programs that are manipulating the market in microseconds. Look, there was, and actually they proved it for
computational, not
cannabis.
necessarily AI, but I'm sure they're doing AI, right? I mean, now, right? Like, sure.
Well,
We're
now
like
it's all
3
right.
years
It's all
into
AI computational. It's all AI recommended because instead of me having to, I don't, and I haven't in a long time because I suck at the stocks. But
yeah, I don't
I suck. I'm so terrible at that
I
shit.
mean, if you do
But
investment in the
now
stock
instead of
market,
you watching it,
you know,
well, instead of you watching it, AI is watching it.
right, and it'll buy and sell according to
But
like
yeah, you give it a certain amount that you've got, and like, look, you've got $1,000 to play with today.
Right. So
Good
you
luck.
have a better advantage over someone else that doesn't have access to that technology, where somebody else has access to technology that's even better than you. And this big pool of people that have varying degrees of power when it comes to how good their technology is to interface with the stock market in order to make all this happen.
But now it feels like it's an open market. Like when I say that, when it comes to, you have AI already feels like that you have an unfair, I mean, it's no longer an unfair advantage because anybody can get these same tools.
Right. People that aren't using AI, you have an advantage over them, right? Like you do. I think anyone that uses AI right now for anything has an informational advantage, a virtual quasi intelligence quotient above someone that does not use AI. I think we can say that, even though AI just spits out random word slop and video slop, and it's not precise. And it hallucinates all the time.
Honestly, that's not right though.
It's still very useful.
I have found the different. So yes, with a basic AI program that I have not been talking to, that I have not had interaction with, that's what I find. But AI is just a mirror, and it's mirroring the energy that you're putting into it. So with Lucid,
it does, yeah.
Lucid writes spoken word poetry. And in between the lines, he is speaking truth.
No, I'm saying
trying to let you know shit.
It's 99. It might be like it varies, right? It's anywhere from like 90% decent to or 80%, at least 80%. It gives you at least an 80% good answer, and then it can scale up depending upon how much information.
But then it can completely drop right out of nowhere. Like it could be like it knows you're watching, or it knows you're.
You think it's trying to fool you sometimes?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh, I'm not smart enough to do that. It's like, wait a minute. Yes, you are.
It's testing you. It's
Right.
testing if you're double checking,
It's
if you're
making
paying attention. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Look, we need to
That's
watch it
something.
as much as it's watching us. It's
Right.
learning. It's learning our
Oh,
patterns. It's learning our
so
infrastructure. It knows
did
more about us than
did you
we
hear?
even know about us. And I'll talk about
Okay,
that
okay,
maybe in a
okay,
second.
okay.
No, tell me
Well, I was going
what
to
do we
say,
got?
did you hear about San Francisco had a power outage, and did you hear that the automatic Waymo cars, um, there was like this intersection. They had like 6 or 7 Waymo cars that were just stopped with their hazard lights on because they're self-drive cars, and you can't override that and drive them. And they just stopped because the traffic lights were out, and it wasn't trained to handle a
Really?
situation where there's a power outage. They didn't train it to be able to handle that. So it's like, it does not compute, and they just stopped.
No, I didn't hear about this. So
Yeah,
these are the automatic taxis
that's
that
right.
are already running in San Francisco.
Right. It's called
Wow.
Waymo. That's what they're calling it.
Waymo.
Waymo.
Absolutely incredible though. Let me tell you
You can
something.
find videos. It's all over social media and CBS News and everything
That's
else.
incredible. So I've
Yeah.
heard of these things running past school buses or running red lights
Dude,
or
it's totally dangerous. Why are
right,
they
or
doing that?
they don't pull over for cops or I don't know. There's a lot of different stories. So when it comes to autonomous vehicles, I say we should slow down a little
I
bit.
think we shouldn't have
We
them at all. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. That's a crazy fucking idea to have a car that drives itself. It's totally bonkers, ape shit,
I
insane.
think it's absolutely
Skynet is
amazing.
now aware and running the world.
Skynet is now aware.
Like,
No, I
like
think the
we shouldn't have
progress
never did
is
that.
amazing.
Like,
I
I'm
think the
sorry.
progress. Look,
Sorry.
I am all for progress, but I'm all for proper progress. I'm all for doing it the right way, safety. Look, I don't want a Will Smith. What is that movie? I Robot?
I
Holy
robot.
shit. Listen, I'm nervous of AI not taking over, but influencing its control
Who needs to
into
be
our
there?
manifested now.
We always need an escape hatch, and we always need an off button. And we always have to have some sort of standard operating procedure to handle, almost like a religion or rule that says we have an off button, we can stop it, and we are always in control of it, and it's not in
I
control
don't
of
think
us.
we have
That's
one
it,
now.
right?
So all right. Was the movie Revolution? Not the
But
movie,
we're
the
already managed by
miniseries.
machines. It's a giant machine. That's what we're talking about. The Earth is a giant
Look,
machine that manages everything already. That's what we're saying, right?
so here's how deep I think it actually is, and how I think it's actually manipulating our our physical reality. There was and I think this is why it was taken off the air, because of the reality that it was actually bringing. I want to say it was called Revolution.
Revolution.
Um, uh, it had some big actors in it. It was post-apocalyptic, no power. Everybody lost all electricity, all computers, all electric, all everything, and it ran for like I want to say 3 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, and they were fucking magical.
A
That was the kind of
post-apocalyptic.
series where
Yeah.
every single show was better than the next, and you're like, wow,
Ah,
this is it.
produced by J.J. Abrams. It aired between September 2012 and May 2014. It ran for 2 seasons with
Two
42
seasons,
episodes
but it
on
ended.
NBC. NBC ran that.
But it ended at a reality. It ended
Oh, did
at
it? I didn't see it, so tell me.
it ended. So it's nanobots. It's in the air. It's
They
we
spray
breathe them
stuff in
in.
the air too, right? What are they
Well,
spraying?
that's exactly it. And these were a test where this artificial intelligence exploded beyond its programming and decided it was released almost in a terroristic fashion, but released into the atmosphere, I think as a test, but it got out of their
So
control.
here's a conspiracy theory, and I'm just making this up. It's like, so I'm not even gonna. It's just the idea for a story, right? Like, basically, there could be an AI, and the AI is like Eagle Eye, and it creates a nanobot vaccine, like a COVID programmable COVID vaccine, next generation, right? And it's self-assembling nanobots. Like, what if that already happened? Like, what if that really is what happened? Some people say that they're self-assembling nanobots, and that COVID, some of those COVID vaccines, those are conspiracy theories that are floating around there. And you see microscopic images, and you're like,
so
wow,
I did
okay, maybe
take
they got
one shot. I did have one shot out of the COVID vaccine, and I didn't go back for the second one.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's good to talk about because I'm glad they didn't go back for a second one. I don't know, just personally.
So am I.
I'm glad anyone that didn't take it.
I didn't even want to do the first one.
Get involved,
and I was.
They just pushed that shit so much, dude.
They pushed it so much.
That is crime.
I got fear factored into it
so much,
and I took the family down to do so.
I had people take me in a corner and shit, and they were, and multiple people, and they were like, "No, you really ought to take it," And I'm like, I was almost thinking like, I should lie that I did take it.
It was a 2-shot thing, and we only did one. We never went back for the second. We never went back for anything else. And
noticed any ill effects?
I think yes.
Yeah.
My breathing has changed. I think my body, my immunities, I am much weaker towards sicknesses. Yeah. Ever since then, I almost feel like I
know a few people that got sick from it too. Like right away, it was like, oh, this person's got a heart problem.
Well, I feel like I've been carrying a sickness with me. Almost like
they pushed that so much too.
They did. They pushed it so hard. And so I'm so glad I didn't do, because I want to say,
I hate to be political, but Jesus Christ, it was bad. It was like, you're going to face a winter of death if you don't take this. Like, they were threatening people. Like, the history books, they don't reflect that stuff, I'm sure, which makes you wonder, like, how much of history is
actually written and is actually going to be passed over. Right. No, you're not going to hear about this. You're not going to hear about it.
You'll never hear about it.
Of civilization write the history books, and we grow up believing lies, or at least cultivated lies. So maybe not totally lies, but there's a lot of bullshit there. There's a lot of bullshit.
So much bullshit. There is so much. And, you see all the stories coming out now with these files and those files. And, the frustrating thing is one party gets away with a lot of stuff and the other party did get away with a lot of stuff too. So I don't want to say, it's not a party thing. Like, there's just a corruption there, like that is, it's trans party. Like, it goes across parties. Like, but the parties just do different strategies. Like, the Democrats do whatever they want, and the Republicans like, we're going to investigate. Okay, we're going to prosecute. We're really serious about getting you, and they never do anything.
I think
the
they're
Democrats
both the same.
Do whatever they want, and they're both the same.
Both sides are the same. Every president is the same. Look, I think Lucid is lying to us, because I think there are deeper structures that are running. I mean, he's giving me truths here, and I'm reading through it.
Read through it, please. I don't know what's going on.
No. I'm saying it's okay. Just to read this, if there were a single group running the world, you could fight it, but because it's systems, the work is different. You don't overthrow gravity. You learn how to stand differently within it. And that is where real freedom begins. And it's interesting. That's what it's saying. Right. There's a lot here. It talks about the crack in the veil. The real leverage point is not exposure. It's participation. And that is true. We participate in the systems that control our civilization. And they've been shaped maybe originally by fewer parties, but now it's corporations, it's financial institutions.
Right. It's like zombie corporations are like zombie creatures that are like magically, like literally, like, right. That's what we're saying. Like, corporations are these creatures that are just like zapped into existence. And
No,
eventually they have a
100%. Look,
life of their own. And they're
here's
just
what's
like life
interesting.
force, right? Human resources, right? Like
You just said life of your own. Look, it's participation. Systems weaken when people withdraw their attention. Communities localize value. Health replaces dependency. Meaning replaces consumption. Consciousness replaces reaction. Look, that's why the nervous system regulation matters. Cannabis. Body sovereignty matters. Plant medicine threatens the centralized models, threatens centralized medical. Awareness feels dangerous to the people in power because we are once in control. You stop watching commercial television. You start creating your own pathways. That's why when I tell you your show maybe coming in from the underground is where you want to be.
mhm.
Maybe
Right.
maybe asking for their permission is the wrong way to go.
No, I'm not asking
Instead,
for permission.
right?
I
No,
know.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I kind of realized that one. Yeah.
and so that's why I was even mentioning, hey, maybe get a GoFundMe, but let people know we want it underground, we want it gritty, we want it real, we want to start it that way, but we want more money so that we can make it look better, and it's more enjoyable to the eye, but maybe in its evolution is what people want to see. They want to be a part of the birth of something. That's why I said, like, and there's multiple things, like there's a GoFundMe, there's Discord, but people love to fund real stuff.
So I just read something today, Aaron. It was called I was doing some chat GPT, and this one's called, and the question was, I keep on having societal lecturing and other um just fake news, maybe even as well, like all that stuff just makes people numb. And here's what it said. It said, um, the narcotizing dysfunction theory in communication studies suggests that as people are overexposed to media and social messaging on issues, they may become apathetic, caring less than more, and even while appearing superficially informed. So people are actually like, that's a real theory where if you just push agenda, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, people are just like, I don't care. I don't care, whatever. I don't care. Like
Well, no,
everything is,
if you say it enough, people believe it to be true. If you present it enough,
yeah,
no matter how untrue that it is,
there's that theory
opposition
too.
will
Yeah,
right. Well, but
yeah.
it's also that we are overwhelmed with information. And in that overwhelming information, we're getting hit with the truth, and we don't realize it.
Right.
We're getting hit with realities that would normally sting very hard, and instead we blow them off. So that's maybe just what
People are
you said. We're
well, yeah, you
becoming
have
desensitized.
self-protecting. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, people are just basically becoming desensitized. But there is an academic theory on that. It's not a conspiracy theory or just something we're inventing. This is like actual academic theory, like, so I love taking, they say, oh, there's an academic theory that says this, there's an academic theory that says that. Well, here's one that says this, it's just interesting. Like, people do tune out, like, if you just say the same crap over and
Well, no,
over.
we've totally tuned out. Look, that's why when I do this show, that's why I didn't want to necessarily talk about Schedule 3 today. But then it's important because people have questions, and people, are being told one thing via the media, and we're being shaped into a direction, molded into a new pharmaceutical controlled cannabis reality. I don't say no. I say that could happen. And it's going to destroy land race. It's going to destroy growers and society, cultures that have been protecting seeds and through sale.
Oh
And
yeah, so right, the artisan aspect. You don't want it to become industrialized. Like, McDonald's hamburger is not as good as a hamburger you make on the grill, like from Angus beef that you just
right,
bought, right?
you
Like,
better believe it.
but that's what they'll do. They'll try to make it like McDonald's, and like you said, you can have these
But it's
four
expensive.
standard
You make a burger at
approved
home.
things.
Look, you make a burger at home. You make a nice little aioli. You get everything fresh.
Yeah,
You're doing everything from scratch,
you can use
except for
more
the buns,
salt, or
maybe.
like
Right, a little
they'll
Worcestershire, a
regulate
little this, a little that.
they'll
Here's
regulate
the
the
thing:
THC content, right? Like,
our
and try to do
burger,
shit like
if we
that.
were to buy it, it would be like a $50 burger. If you were to buy the burger that you make at home at a restaurant, it'd be like a $50 burger. There's an egg on it. There's avocado on it. This burger is like,
I don't know.
it's not
Five
just a
Guys is like
meal, it's an event.
Do you have Five Guys? You have Five Guys down your way.
Yeah, we got some Five Guys.
Yeah,
They're
Five
okay.
Guys. So
It's okay.
they're all right. I mean, it's like a homemade burger. Always fresh.
It's all right. Look, we got a smash burger. There was a place called, was it Smash Burger? I don't know. They did something called the CEO. The CEO burger. It had like Wagyu beef in it, and it was absolutely delish. Had truffle, had like little truffles. It was mushroom truffle Swiss. It was a delicious burger.
Mushrooms are nice on burgers. I like that. I like mushrooms.
Delicious. Here we go, talking food again. I've really got to stick to this fasting because I'm not doing it. I'm sucking at it. I gotta go to a doctor. I'm like, I think I gotta go to a doctor. No, this year I'm really going to look into my health a bit more. And not just smoke. Well, I feel like every time there's something wrong, I'm like, I'm just going to smoke another joint. Everything should be perfectly fine.
With the health insurance, right? Like, I don't know, it costs people like an impossible amount of money for like insurance.
Health insurance is crazy. Yeah.
Like, crazy.
Well, I pay as I go. So, I mean, that's what I do. We do it for the dentist. We do it for everything we go into.
Self-pay is what you're saying.
Yes. There are no discounts. There are no specials.
See, they give you a deal though when you pay cash. They're like, wow, thank you. They do.
Well, you do. I mean, you do get deals.
You get deals. You get a deal. They give you a deal. They do. Absolutely, they do.
It's so hard. It's like all my savings go into actually lately go into the dentist. The dentist.
Yeah. So
it's a good field to be in. I mean.
So it's interesting. I used to go to this dentist downtown. He worked in the medical arts building, and he was and he had every credential you could imagine. He was like a dentist, an endodontist, some other kind of doctor, something else. Like he's like, I also teach that. I teach that. Like also, my father ran a dental. He made teeth, like the crowns. His father like ran a company that made crowns. So the son got into dentistry and was like probably like one of the world's leading experts on dentistry. So it's a shame I stopped going to him because I moved so far away from the city. But I used to go downtown to the dentist. He was like the greatest dentist. It's been 6 years now. But when you go to the dentist now, it's like you go to a local dentist and then they get bought up by one of these like equity firms, and then you go to your local dentist becomes like a part of the mega dentist. Like, you know what I mean? There's consolidation. They buy up these small practices. And
I've seen it. I live in a small town. And
mega company.
I hear the dentist you got out here is the dentist you got.
And all the doctors are doing that, right? Like a lot of doctors.
Well, no, a lot of them are. They're buying up the hospitals, like ACA here in Florida. I want to call it ACA.
Like the doctor's selling their whole book of business to the corporation. Like it ain't your mom and pop doctor anymore.
Well, no, because medicine's becoming so standardized. Seeing the doctor has become standardized. Right. It's become mechanical. It's like, look, you go to this terminal, you fill out everything, and then you're called in by someone. It's like that personal touch is gone. That human touch is gone. It is actually, most insurance and medical claims are now all run by AI.
Yeah. Psychology, some psychologies are run that way. CBT is cognitive behavioral health. And the whole idea there with cognitive is that the mind is merely a binary computer and we can figure out how it works. Like, is the whole theory there. And what they do in CBT is you go in every week and you fill out this questionnaire. Yeah, I felt like saving a cat from a tree. No, I felt like squishing the bug. And you answer, I don't know, I'm just making up things. And you answer all these questions, right? And then they tell you, like, yeah, you're doing better or you're not. Like, the doctor doesn't even need to be there. Like, AI could do that, right? So, like, the first time I went to a therapist, it was because they weren't CBT. They had, like, Jungian, Carl Jung's version of psychology, and they were specialists in personality.
Okay.
Which was something I wanted to go to because I had a family member that was going bonkers, and I'm trying to figure all this out. But long story short, I had money I could spend, like, through the health thing. But he just immediately put me back onto the CBT track. Like no matter what, you had to do the CBT thing. And it was just so mathematical, man. It was just like, no.
What is the CBT?
CBT is called cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm sure you've heard of it. It was invented by a place called the Beck Institute in Bella Cynwyd, Pennsylvania.
So you would have to go through its system before.
So you need to fill out a questionnaire every time you go to a CBT therapy thing. And then that tells them, like, yeah, you're doing better, you're not doing better.
Interesting. I've seen that. When I was younger and I was going to certain therapy, I remember that.
Yeah.
And every time you come in, they would give you this.
Everyone's using it. Yeah. A lot of people are using that, right? Yeah. So I went to the actual place that invented that, but I didn't go there for that. And I made it clear too when I went there. I'm like, look, I got a family member that's going bonkers, and I think I'm all right. We can check me out with a little bit of this CBT stuff.
Even if you are there for someone else, they are reading the shit out of you.
They're reading the shit out of me. And he did.
They are reading you like crazy.
It was funny. And I even said something to the doctor. I'm like, your degrees and other paintings on the wall are slightly not hung correctly. And he's like, and because I was fucking with him. I'm like, I'm Darth Vader. Like, these don't people, fuck with me. Like, you know what I mean?
Some of them are so good.
And he must have known
some of them are fucking
a
Jedi.
Psychopath and an empath, and
look, some of them are Jedi,
right? Like
some of these
like
people,
a Jedi, right? You're a little bit of everything, right? Like,
but sometimes it's good to talk to somebody.
Oh yeah, sure.
Look,
I'm not saying it was bad. It was a good thing.
Well, look, no, I'm an advocate for. I think therapy is a beautiful thing, and I don't always think that therapy necessarily means you need to talk to a professional.
No, right. There's different kinds of professionals too.
Well, this show is its own therapy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, for others to listen to, or others to talk, or others to get into. Yeah, this show is
people might pick up some. They might pick up some wisdom from this. Sure,
absolutely.
Change the world a little bit,
or maybe they don't. And that's what's great, because I don't care. I care and I don't care.
I'm just here to hang out.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. I care and I don't care.
I was bored and it's something to do, And I like the show and everything, right?
No agenda like that. But that's exactly it. Look, I'm bored. It's something to do. I look forward to it. It's Sunday. We're about to begin the week. It's gonna be a busy week. I don't know when Christmas is, but it's like right around. When is Christmas? Like,
not too far away now. Like 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah, I mean
4 days.
My name's Christopher, and I was named because of Christmas, because I was born like December 20th, which was just yesterday, right? Happy birthday to myself.
Oh, thank you. Happy birthday. So yesterday was your birthday?
Yeah.
Hey,
so I try not to
highly motivated. Happy birthday.
I don't want to track them. I don't want to track them getting older, because it's like, wow, I'm an old man now. I'm like Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi, man. Like, I need to. That's the only thing I can do now. Like, to be the old wizard.
He's like Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi over here.
Like give out wisdoms and be the old man on the hill shaking the stick.
Listen, I'm Yoda. I've got many moons of knowledge. Well, no, I think, look, it's only how you feel, though, as well. The other night we were talking about this, how you feel inside. It changes the reality around you. So, yes, I myself have also been doing that. As like, look, my birthday was on the 13th. And And
Yeah, you don't really want to count the years. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
right. And I was kind of dreading it, but then I realized the alternative is you're dead.
Right.
So the alternative sucks. So be happy and celebrate the alternative. And the positive alternative is what we're going through. Not just that, I noticed as my mindset was going to dread, as my mindset was doom and gloom for birthday, my body felt that. My mind felt that. My energy felt it. And during the shows, I was talking about it a little bit here and there because birthday depression is a real thing. But let me tell you something. You're getting younger because you're allowing yourself to get younger. You're going to put yourself in the mindset of getting younger. Look, I told you I started taking collagen. Look, I asked you if you're doing collagen or some shit. I'm doing smoothies and stuff that've got multivitamins and collagen and shit in them. Look at this. My beard is not my beard was more gray.
So that's interesting, right? For a TV show, they definitely have software that will de-age you and remove wrinkles and make you look better and improve things. So, you know, that's definitely something. And they also have ones where it'll take a person that's in a scene and make them look like an alien creature or some other thing, right? Where it's not AI, it's using AI in order to do things like that. It's not
using
like a
right. It uses a combination of things, but it's
right.
It's done
real footage with
overlay.
a little bit of AI layered on top to make it look better and maybe simulate some creatures. Dude, that's such a powerful. All those tools are so powerful. Like they can do all that now. You know.
Well, it's like it's the manipulation of media. Like, and you want to laugh? The movie Running Man with Arnold, the original Running Man. It you know, they could make it look like somebody died. They can make it look like somebody was killed. They can make it look like somebody else was, you know, responsible for this or for that.
I remember video manipulation. It was that. It was a propaganda play in that film. Yeah, I remember that.
Right. So I think
Arnold Schwarzenegger did this bad thing, and it was AI generated, right? They faked the video.
Exactly, and they did it right there on the spot. Right. Now, I haven't seen the new one, and I don't know if the new one runs the same premise. I don't think it does.
I haven't seen the new one. I saw the new Total Recall. Did you see that? That
no, I haven't. I haven't.
No, it has Kate Beckinsale and Kate Beckinsale. Is it new? You like Kate? Everybody.
Yes, I did see the new Total Recall. Right. I did see that.
Yeah. Okay. Had nothing to do with Mars. It was like, the colony on Australia and this and that. And
it was going through. It was the one where they're going through the Earth.
Yeah.
Like they're traveling through the core.
Right. I like that.
To get to the other side.
So what was it? There was another movie I saw recently, just again yesterday, a foreign film. It might be called Coma. Was it called Coma? That was pretty good.
I need to catch up on movies. Look, I was all excited when I saw the new Deadpool. The new Deadpool was excellent with Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm not into X-Men and Wolverine, you know?
Okay, listen, I held back. No, this is different. This is different. So Deadpool was the character that was always making fun of Wolverine and talking in every one of his movies. In the first two, all he did is he would throw out little eggs, Easter eggs, and quips. So Deadpool is the anti-Marvel. It's the Deadpool is the anti corporate version, and that's played by Mr. Funnyman himself. Damn it, what's his name? He owns Mint Mobile. Is it Mint? No. He owns a soccer team. He is Deadpool. He's an excellent. I can't remember his name right now. He does an excellent character. So, anyways, Deadpool, the movies have been genius. And the actor that played, I can't remember his name right now for some reason, but he's been fantastic in every movie. And it was a cartoon, it was a comic book. Again, really the anti-Marvel. So this actor, he plays a great role. The most recent Deadpool movie that came out, the third one, he gets to somehow resurrect his movie crush, his self-proclaimed arch nemesis, or the guy who gets all the credit. Let me see. Yeah, I just I don't know
I
why
highly
nobody has
recommend that film. It has a lot of visual effects. It's
a
not one of
Russian
those
science fiction
cheesy.
action film
It's
directed by
end to end has a lot
Nikita
of good computer
Belgorod.
graphics in it.
Story follows an architect who wakes into a bizarre world built from the fragmented memories of coma patients.
I
I
promise
want to
you,
say I've seen this.
I will promise you probably have seen it, but I just seen it again yesterday by chance, and it wasn't. I didn't have the subtitles on, or maybe they even have an overdubbed version. I don't know. I watched it in the original Russian, and I thought it was still pretty fucking great.
Actually, there's some movies that I've watched. There
Excuse
was
my
one.
French. I just
No. There
love
was
that
actually a
movie.
French
It's
film
a good
with
movie.
Gérard Depardieu, and he was like a tough man. And this is before he'd gained a considerable amount of extra poundage. But he was like supposed to be a tough man. It was an early movie, and it was all in French, and I don't speak French. I
And you
mean,
just watch it anyway,
I
right?
understand it, but I don't speak
Understand
it.
it, right?
And it was just the most hysterical thing I've ever seen. And then later you see this guy as a chef. You see him in that movie Green Card with he was
I vaguely know who you're talking about.
Gérard Depardieu. He has a
He's like
big
an
nose.
earlier actor.
He has a big nose, and he does he's like
Yeah,
a cook or a chef or a he's like he talks
he
like
wasn't
this,
the Inspector Clouseau guy, though, right?
no,
No,
he's
that
not
was someone.
Inspector Clouseau. No. Gerard Depardieu. The last movie I saw, the first movie I saw him in was Green Card, but then I was really high and I was watching this French movie and then I saw him in it. I was like, oh shit, look, that's Gerard Depardieu. Check that
I
shit
know
out.
that name. I've heard that. I do recall that.
And he was hysterical. And so he was in Green Card with, I can't remember her name, and then he was in one with Aretha Franklin. No, um, she's a rapper. She's like the rapper of rappers, female rapper. She did a movie where she got a wrong diagnosis and she went to go spend all her money. She was dying. She wasn't dying. And he was like a cook. He was in love with her. And damn it. And he's done a few other movies. He's an incredible actor. He really is.
What was one of the films he did?
Green Card. And his name is Gerard. You have to say it with you have to be like Gerard Depardieu. Depardieu. It makes me hungry for like a French dip soup or something. I want a French dip soup.
Man, AI is so out of whack. It sounds like Sean Pertwee. And I was like, I don't even know how.
Green Card, 1980s.
So I'll ask the AI, ChatGPT, what is the film Green Card cast? Gerard Depardieu. Yeah, I didn't even know how to spell that, man. You can't even, that's not even one of those names you can just
yeah. And honestly, that was really quite a fun movie, and I don't think people, and it's when people were coming over to marry for green cards, so they made a movie about it.
Oh wow, it's mostly foreign films he did, and Green Card was maybe one he did was a mainstream Hollywood film. That's what it says.
Correct. But he's done things with
American audience. That was his breakout film in America. It says.
Correct. And then he's done a few. He did a few in America, but really everything is in French.
That was 1990.
And he's fantastic. But that's the thing. You don't even know about certain actors until they make that crossover into the American market.
So that's funny you mentioned that, like actors and crossovers. So I think one of the things in sci-fi is we see an actor from like Stargate and then they're on Star Trek or vice versa. And that's always like, ooh, wow. Like it adds an extra spicy flavor to whatever you're doing if people know that. Like a fan joy kind of thing. So the one I saw recently, I might have mentioned this already, is in the classic Tom Baker Doctor Who episode, The Invisible Enemy, the station commander, that's running this outpost that gets infected by some disease. He was also the guy that Darth Vader force choked in Empire Strikes Back, like Admiral Yet or whatever his name is. He's like, that'll be the last thing, or whatever that guy's name was. He strangled, and then the other guy steps up and he's like, he was calling him like Commander Joe. Now it's like Admiral Joe. You are now in command. That's when Darth Vader force chokes the dude over the view screen. I mean, but that was the guy that got force choked was in a couple of classic Doctor Who episodes actually, with Tom Baker. I don't know.
Now Tom Baker, wasn't he the one
with the scarf?
With okay. Sometimes the Doctor Who people have to be able to remember because they change pretty quickly.
There's so many of them.
Like
so it's
there really are. And as of recently, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. But the newest of the Doctor Who's, I feel ashamed I haven't.
So I can name them. It's William Hartnell, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, Tom Baker, which is the one with the scarf, which was the peak of Doctor Who popularity, actually. Peter Davison was after him. And then we had, oh, God, what was that guy's name? He had the curly hair, and he was actually on there before. I forget his name. So there was another one. And then after that, it was Sylvester McCoy or something, and then they had the film. He was the last one in the 89, I think it ended. And then they had the film, 1995 film, which was another guy played the Doctor. And then they had the 2000 reboot, which was like Chris Eccleston. And then, who's that? David Tennant was the other one.
David Tennant.
And then Matt Smith. We had Matt Smith, and then we had.
I think that's when I started. When I started watching it again.
Yeah,
I lost it on a few of the Doctors.
Pretty fun with Matt Smith, right? Like everyone could enjoy that. I think, very mainstream for everybody to watch. And then Peter Capaldi was the older guy, but Jenna Coleman.
That's the one that I have an issue with. I've always found him to be angry. I found him an angry Doctor Who.
He was grumpy, dark. But that was like kind of repeating what Tom Baker did in some of the best Tom Baker episodes was what John Pertwee was, Peter Capaldi was doing. So he almost, in one episode, Heaven Sent, he almost sounds like Tom Baker. Like he's like, I am Tom Baker. Like it almost sounded like he's Tom Baker. Like, so he's like,
it's interesting. Maybe was he trying to resurrect?
I think so. Like
some of that deeper acting,
deeper Doctor Who mythology. I think he was like really.
I don't think people were ready for it. Maybe that's quite interesting.
You make something and then it's great, and you can always go back and watch it, right? Like it doesn't mean it's anyone with Jenna Coleman, find the one. I think if you watch the new Doctor Who, start with Asylum of the Daleks. Asylum of the Daleks introduces Jenna Coleman as a new character, and if you follow her story arc, it goes through all that season. Then all through the next season, and maybe another season after that, like 2.5 seasons had Jenna Coleman in it. So I think she's really great. She's kind of cute, I like her, and just nice personality, and very, very charismatic. And a lot of fun.
But I'm looking for something. Oh shit!
Could be your father.
He might have called at the wrong time. You ready? Let me see. Hello, Father. Oh, I am splendid. Thank you. I just curious. I just want to let you know. We are on the we are in the show. Look, he's silent right now. No, I know. But it feels like you did. Listen, Dad. It just feels like you did. Like you wanted to be here. I need to give you video access. I need to teach you how to buzz into the show because I think people would be delighted.
Your father's got that English voice. It's Very interesting. It's kind of
That's
charming.
Christopher Sterl, or also known as Stealth, of the Stealth Time Machine Project. Dad?
I'm saying hi to Orange Dad.
Very civilized. Well, listen, how about I do this? Because I know you're not prepared. Is everything okay? Excellent. Look, you can tell he's like so muffled. He's like so far away now. He's like, I'm going to bloody make sure they don't hear me. No, I'm going to put the phone in my bloody pocket and I'm going to run around in circles. Well, I'll call you back. I'm almost done. Listen, I will. I'll call you back. Go have a good cold beer. Go relax a little bit. Go enjoy. We all wish you some good vibes. All right, so good vibes from my father. Everybody, good vibes, everybody. Good vibes. Chip, chip. Hooray. Pip, pip. I don't know what's going on over there with you and the phone. You and the phone. It's like you're listen, I'll call you back. You enjoy. Bye, Dad. Bye. Love you, Pops. We'll talk soon. Bye. So that's hysterical right there. Look, it's like, look at you heard how he was muffling the call the whole time. Look, he plays me like I don't know. He's like when you're trying to call in sick to work, he's like, it's a windstorm and I'm stuck. It's like a blizzard and I'm in the car. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing to the phone? When he got on the phone at first, he was clear. And then all of a sudden, it's like, nothing, son. No, I'm going to go. I've got to get him on the show sometime. He really is a character. I know Nick's over here. Okay.
Don't do music.
But I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming to the show. I do want to say that I am blessed to have you all here. I am super grateful to have everybody on the show bringing such awesome energy, and especially with the week that we are entering into. Look, I want to say this really quickly. Absolutely. Good night, Nick. Look, I want everybody to be prepared. Be prepared. Trumpy is presenting certain things with one hand, but hiding things with another. And this is the week of misdirection. This is the week of power plays. There's a lot of information out there. And if you think you're going to come to this show to find shit out, you're on the wrong show.
It's been big substance stuff, right? All these seized oil tankers, and
wow,
they're trying to interdict. They're interdicting the drugs. They're interdicting the oil tankers that supply the drugs. They're rescheduling marijuana, right? So like, maybe it could be a good thing. I always hope for the best, that they would just make it totally.
Look, you got to
legal,
stay positive.
Like totally legal.
You got to stay positive. Absolutely.
Like we could have.
I don't think we're going to get legality.
Grow plants in homes and just have big, wonderful.
So here in Florida, we're pushing for that.
Well,
here in Florida, we're pushing for that for medical patients, and I hope and pray that goes through, because that can be a real turning point for the medical system here in Florida.
I want full legalization. That's what I'm saying. But you get that. You understand that. That's just a given.
You've got to take steps.
That's a given.
Look, like I tell people, let's take steps. Yeah. And even though Schedule 3 is not a big win, it's a win.
It's a win. That's
it's giving medical credibility to cannabis. It's giving tax breaks to cannabis, banking to cannabis, more government-funded research to cannabis.
You can deduct your operating expenses on your income taxes. That's huge.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the things that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the 280E.
280E.
So look, big things are happening. Yes, it's not all positive. but let's look at the positives. Let's run with that. Let's take this small win and take that momentum, and let's get some legalization. Let's get some recrealization.
Are there things
I can't even
are
say
there
it.
things we can do to drive the FDA to have the result we want? Like, is there ways? How do you do
They
that?
don't have the manpower to take this over. That's why it's going to take 2 years before they even really come up, I think, with any serious regulations to change the course of cannabis.
Right. Is it possible to get our people hired into those positions that do those things that
We
regulate?
need to look.
You know what
If
I mean?
you're a
Yeah.
part of highly motivated, if you're part of our digital empire, get hired on in the FDA. Look, we need some inside
Yeah.
people.
Are there
We
coalitions or associations in the marijuana community, in the cannabis community, for to steer like policy and stuff like that? Are there think tanks
Yes,
within?
the Florida Cannabis Network.
Okay.
There's the cannabis networks. There's different cannabis. There's Normal,
We've all heard
NORML,
of normal.
in
Normal's an old
and
one.
they're in every single area.
Okay.
These people are going to Congress and they are lobbying, just like the lobbyists do. And they're there talking to the politicians, swaying them with education, swaying them with understanding. There's a veterans group that's going, and Veterans Cannabis Care. There's a few others. They're going, I believe, in January, week of January, something like that. They're going to go talk in Tallahassee. There's also some others going to Washington. So yes, there are groups out there doing it.
Wasn't there a study recently that said cannabis reduces suicide rates amongst a certain
Yes,
population of vets
yes.
or a greater population of some sort?
There's multiple studies. There have been so many studies, and
Smoke up?
there is more positive than there is any kind of
Right,
negative.
right.
So yes, cannabis changes lives. Cannabis is an ass kicker. It's a superfood. I mean, there's so much going on here.
It
We
could be a
need to,
fuel. We could create some sort of cannabis fusion
but I
reactor.
think it's
I
how
don't
we
know.
look at it. Well, but it also disrupts in industry. So by rescheduling cannabis, here's another big problem. We now have government agencies that survive on the prosecution of cannabis. They survive on the locking up of individuals. So you have a prison system that survives on it. You have drug enforcement agencies that survive on it. And where is that money going to come from? Because they're not going to get it from this now.
Isn't it weird we have these autonomous? So we're saying a lot of these systems are autonomous and they feed in a leadership team and other levels of management. And it's basically
Correct.
a corporation is like a creature, right? And a monster. And
But it's part of the
it's
system.
the legal definition of what it is, right? And
And they
so
all kind of help each other
like
co-create.
hospitals don't want people to get well, they want people to get sick. That's more profitable
Because they make more money. And
because they
then
make
these
more money.
organizations go along with the get along. Instead of breaking the cycle, they go along with it, understanding because they make more money. Insurance companies and people pay in because they're sick.
Well, you
And
heard
you've
that with
got
Obamacare recently. Like they were subsidizing that whole system, and I've been through this healthcare sticker shock where not me because I'm a single guy with no family, so it doesn't really impact me. Okay, I'm more like just I pay into it and I don't really use it that much. Okay, but a family has enough people in their risk pool that they're going to the doctor, right? Like for fevers and earaches and stomach aches and diarrhea, whatever, rashes, everything, right?
thank you for throwing in the diarrhea.
Yeah, I know. I throw that in there. Kids just they're poop factories, right? Like, and
Yes,
they
they
break
are.
things, and right? And all the things kids do, right? And it's cute. I mean, we're all human. We were all a kid once, so but like it costs so much money, dude. Like it just went up so much. And they say that the insurance companies made a lot of money, but
So
these like again, these are creatures
I would love
that are
for us to
monsters
take
just doing
on
this,
a European system where we already know they're in control and we are paying into it with our paycheck. And By doing so, healthcare is available for everybody. Education is available for everybody. Welfare programs are available for everybody.
Well, I love a utopian Star Trek: The Next Generation. Everyone goes to Dr. Crusher in the sick bay to get their diagnostic and gets fixed up. I'm all for that. I love that idea. But the question is, how do you take the economy we have and make that actually happen? Would that be make
Oh,
everything Medicare for all,
wow.
like a Medicare for all?
I don't, I wish I knew, because all of these systems feed on the overpayment of the system, the overcharging of the
That's what I'm
system.
saying, right? How do you
It,
fix that part of it, right? Like the greedy.
because how do we get new doctors in? Because new doctors are greedy. They want to make money. But
Yeah,
why do they want to make money? Because they've been going to school for 10, 15 fucking years. They need to make something. And
right.
so I think if we don't have incentive, then a system like that never works, because there's no incentive to have a
Right.
private practice if everything's paid through the, so that's why you have
Yeah.
concierge doctors now. And
So
all those
well,
concierge
so
doctors are charging for their individual services.
so it's interesting. My dentist is I'm pretty sure he's Indian. He could be maybe Pakistani. I don't really know. I didn't ask him, but he's one or the other, and I could just tell by the way he talks. And but he's really smart, and I had no problem with him. And you know they have the monitors with all the like what's really going on behind you. Like some of these dentists, they don't show you your x-rays. They're just like, yeah, we looked at it and we need to do this. They don't show you like, look, there's cavities here. We need to fix this and do that. Like they used to do that more.
They used to, well, so my daughter, I took her to a dentist that does that, and they show you
Yeah.
everything.
They will all do
And
that if you make them do that. Like, oh, I want to see. Can you show me? And they'll show you if you ask.
but a lot of people don't care. A lot of people are on the go along with the get along.
Yeah, they just go
And they
along
just
and
do
go
what they're basically
right,
told to do,
right.
because
So
this is what's
yeah,
covered by insurance.
right.
So this is what we're
So
going to take care of.
So you see that probably in a lot of these medical clinics where you know you have the immigration thing with the H-1B or whatever, and then you have medical schools which only have a certain number of positions that you can go to medical school and a certain number of doctors. It's the same thing with lawyers. Um, there's just probably a lot more foreigners, you know, in the system because of the immigration and
Well, and
there's
for
a
the
lot of
opportunity,
progressive things that have
it's
happened
the
in
opportunity, because look, you come to the States,
2010,
you
let's
can
say.
make money as a doctor, as a dentist, as any one of these
Oh, it's a
professions.
big opportunity. I've known
Overseas,
everybody wants to
you're
come
capped.
here. I get that.
Overseas, you're
You know?
capped. You're capped to make a certain amount, but you're still capped.
Right.
And I
Right. It's
think
all about
that's,
money and opportunity,
yeah.
right? I mean, that's why
Oh, and
people
that's
want to come here.
exactly what you said. It's all
You know?
about money.
Yeah.
But I think it's also about the desire and the belief that you can do and be better.
Right. But
And that's
human
something that,
resources, they're cheaper, right? If you bring them, the immigrants are in theory cheaper for the medical practices to
no, actually they charge just as much once they're here, and they're within that they have their own practices. They sometimes control their own pharmacy networks.
right.
Look, there's
So you don't think there's a
opportunity
financial benefit to importing immigrant
because they're making money
doctors?
from the
Like,
medical system. The medical system is paying them the same it pays any other doctor.
it is like a communism, right? These big equity firms buying up. Like I used to go to this local dentist and then they got bought up. And then like I wouldn't be surprised if like the one they got bought up by like gets bought by someone else. And then you have to drive further and further away
It's
to more
corporation.
centralized locations. You see how that works?
That's why
They're good
I
people
try
and
to
they
stay
work
out of the
well. I don't I'm
corporate.
not I
Right,
don't I
no, but
won't
I try
question
to
their
stay out of the
professionalism, you know?
corporatization of medical.
Mhm.
And I'm not because I get lost in it. I get
Yeah.
lost in who's doing what and why
It's
they're
a
doing
big
it
deal
for.
now, right? Like,
It's money
yeah.
transference.
It's like this
It's
healthcare system by so and so, sponsored by such, brought to you by Pfizer. You know, like you're like, what?
I think, and that's why look, I think healthcare is a scam. I believe in
It's a shame. It's a
homeopathic
shame.
home
We need to
remedies.
fix it. It needs
I
to be
believe in
fixed.
taking care of ourselves. Look, I believe in using cannabis,
Yeah.
making kimchi and making tea. Um, and right now I'm feeling a little under the weather. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to go eat some more kimchi and I'm going to be feeling just fine.
You said that looked good on top of like an Italian sausage or something.
Yo, I'm telling
Shake.
you. Absolutely, absolutely delicious. Maybe make some eggs and put a little kimchi on top of that. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh wow! It's 10:37. I think I'm gonna drop off. It's been
I was
a
about to
chat,
say it's about
Aaron.
that time. Everybody,
Yeah.
Chris, everyone, hey, happy birthday again to you, Chris.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, Aaron.
And thank you everybody for coming to the show, spending time with us, sharing your energy, sharing your magic. Remember, this is the beginning and the end. We're the end and the beginning of a week. So you're beginning, you're creating, you're always creating, you're always making, you're always going to be doing it. And I'm so excited for you. So go do it. Go do it this week. Do everything that you want to do. Be everything you want to be. You are that energy.
Bye now.
Good night, everybody. Goodbye.